Doesn't come. He doesn't come.
We're live. What's she talking about? Nobody knows.
Trying to fix my. Oh, if he comes, he comes. There we go. I've got my spinner ready.
That's a blender.
It's a little
That's a
blender.
yeah.
I got it ready for some
Um
drinks. So hey, Sean. Hey,
yeah.
Jesus. You can't. You don't answer by that. I know. Um. Hey, my friend Sean. So for the new
Hey.
people who are like, what happened? So Sean Gilder, Angela Shelton. He looks like Jesus. I was almost named Mary. I got named Angela instead. I was named after Angie Dickinson. If you didn't know
Hmm.
that, I know. And you and I have conversations that are so great and so awesome. And on the
Hmm.
phone privately, we decided to just do it publicly. And guess
Hmm.
what happens, Sean?
What happens?
We get banned and in trouble.
Yeah, you told me. It's funny because we're streaming to your YouTube and my YouTube and Rumble. Oh, I forgot to turn on the Instagram. Let me turn on the Instagram.
Turn it on.
All right, so the Instagram is
Turn
on
it
now.
on.
Um,
Is that on your Instagram or mine or both or what?
that's on mine. We can add
Ooh,
it on yours, but
ooh, do it another day.
yeah, you have to
We're
send
gonna
me. The thing
turn it
about
on.
Instagram is you have to it changes every day like Rumble. So like every time you log in, you'll have to send me your key
Oh,
code. But
got you.
so next time, remember to do that, and
Because
um we'll do it before we go live, so we're
we've
not
we've done
clicking
this,
buttons while live.
and next
Um,
week I'm gonna be at a festival. I don't know what are we gonna do. Anyway, we
you
get
know,
keep
go
getting in
live from a
trouble.
festival. Oh yeah, so I didn't get any alerts from my YouTube that I'm in trouble, but I do get a lot of emails and I miss a lot of emails, so um maybe I
But
did. But
you've been shadow banned other places, faux
oh well yeah,
show.
for a long time. Yeah.
But I just got mine from YouTube after our live last week. Guess what it said? It said warning.
Uh-oh.
You're in trouble. And
What do you
usually
do?
it's what did you do? Usually it says you have, gone against community guidelines, right?
Remember to speak in code so you don't get
Right.
got again.
So
Or
you
get
can't
me got.
you can't be talking about that. And
Well, no, it was we got a little I think over time we've got a little
loose.
freewheeling without talking about and wait, which arm is this? And yeah, that right there. Um and it's
Oh,
an
but
election flu year, so
it gets better, my friend. You ready for
okay,
this one?
I'm ready, yeah.
Okay. So it
So we're going code today, so
yeah, code. So I started looking at why did I get in trouble?
mhm.
And usually it doesn't tell you. Usually it just says you violated rules or guidelines, and it doesn't really. It's so vague, right? It's like
Right.
this time I was able to click and clickety click and click. You violated this one, and then this one, and then this one, and it was ready. Medical misinformation. But
I
wait,
figured with the
but wait. By sharing prevention.
oh, it was probably about you talking about apple flavored
Hmm.
wow.
And also preventing ways. Also, I was sharing ways I could feed my
Wow.
grandma and my mom who's not eating properly, and I feed her organ meat and stuff. I just
Wow.
find it interesting that you're not. So when you go further, and it said so. Okay, you're not allowed to share prevention. You have to go with whatever the code comes from. Guess what?
The who?
Yes,
Yeah, the who. So Billy.
the who.
Oh, Billy Young.
So you're just like, wait, y'all, do you do the math there? And then I would look further of what the rest of the rules are like what you can and cannot say, and then there
Mhm.
are rules. You cannot tell people about things that already exist that have won Nobel Peace Prizes. You can't tell them about any of that stuff.
Okay. Well,
So
yeah.
here we
Uh,
are with Regenerate Today. I got
Yes.
my Regenerate Today.
Regenerate can help with everything actually.
Yeah,
Because
for
it's
real.
a general wellness I mean, there's 18 ingredients in it. To much
Don't
of
tell
them
me.
to design. Much of it is designed to help clean out the liver. It's got a ton of vitamin C, ton of
I need that.
magnesium, and then of course all the Chinese herbs and the GABA and everything to lower anxiety. The rhodiola, the ashwagandha, the
This is
astragalus.
so good.
Yeah.
So, you and I,
Hmm.
the one in Nashville, can you search for me?
Like on the internet.
No, I just saw a comment came in. Can you search for
Oh,
me?
I don't know why my
Oh,
comments aren't coming
hello.
in. I thought I had my
Shivendra.
comments. I don't see the comments now. Weird.
I
Weird.
don't
Oh, here
know.
we go. I was in the wrong place.
Excellent. We all
My screen
sometimes
is
are.
so far from me. I gotta get this
Slipping
screen
along.
closer because I gotta like, you know.
So you developed this thing called
Yeah.
Regenerate, right? And me and you, or rather, I'm coming to your house first weekend of
Hmm.
August,
Yes.
and we're gonna ride bikes. We're gonna
Hmm.
do what you do, but we're gonna add Regenerate
Okay.
and some
Sounds like a
lube
regenerate party.
and a Regenerate party on bikes.
Hmm.
This person is
So,
struggling for a job right now for 2 months. What are we doing about it?
a job ain't nothing but work. I think what I wish somebody would have told me when I was in my 20s. I don't know how old Slim Slay.
He
I
was
can
born
barely
in
say.
1996.
I wish somebody would have told me this a long time ago, and that's in your community, in your daily life, look for needs that aren't met, and then meet those needs. Like for example, There's a guy that I work on one of his e-bikes. He's got a Onyx, which is like a unique thing. I actually strongly dislike working on it now. It's junk, but they're very fast e-bikes. And I was curious about it. He wanted me to work on it. I was like, oh, I want to check out these Onyx bikes. And he was fresh out of college, and the pandemic happened, and so he didn't have any work, and he started a junk company. So he started with one pickup truck. Now he's got like half a dozen box trucks, half
Nice.
a dozen guys working for him, and he
Picking up
literally
junk.
picks up junk.
Nuh-uh.
And now
So
I don't
smart.
know, how well he's doing. I haven't got into his financials with him, but he did start with one pickup truck, picking up junk. Now he has six trucks, so I'm imagining he's
Nice.
doing okay. Um, I don't know if you live
Nice.
in an area where there's a lot of construction or, start a little. I mean, you just have to look at your surroundings, open your field of view, look in the peripheral of your vision, and what needs aren't being met. And then, of course, you have to be a good boss to yourself, which is very hard to do.
You
And
have got that down pretty well. And I have learned it. It's showing up.
what's that
Continue.
next comment say from?
I'm I'm edging right now. He's just sharing. He's sharing too much, Gavin. He's having a good old time now.
Yeah, well,
Praise Jesus.
to help we got
To
Michael
help
Ricks.
you.
We got
To
Michael Ricks
help you
coming. Maybe
out.
maybe Michael Ricks will help you. Oh my God, the internet. That for whatever reason that comment reminds me of that comment from last week, which was truly funny. It's oh great, two whites complaining about things.
Hello,
That
Angela.
was
Hey,
so funny.
Jerome. It's so funny. Hey, Jerome.
Hi, Jerome.
I am making a great little tincture drink right now.
Yeah, mix it up.
So back to you. You made Regenerate.
Yeah.
We just got
Hmm.
somebody a job. I like how you just give everybody like that. You're just doing the real Jesus work. I love it. Real
Well,
ministry.
and
So,
it's
so Regenerate. I have used it myself for a long time. We're gonna have a retreat at your house in the first week of August.
yeah, like 30, like
This
hmm.
This stuff is amazing. Like it
Yeah.
really does make your mind clear. I'm going to drink some right now, and I have discovered Fever Tree. Listen to me now. This
Mhm.
whole entire, but you could pick any of them. I personally love ginger beer. If you
Yeah.
make a ginger beer
They
with,
sell those in glass bottles too.
yes, I know, with Regenerate, and I put a little bit of either tart cherry
Mm.
or blueberry, which I like. I like me some blueberry.
You're like a
I
mixologist
am a mix. I've become a mixologist because of you, because I want to drink it all day,
all day, all night.
not just. I'm gonna get my tart cherry juice, but will you tell me about um, how we can use this?
Oh, there's so many reasons to use it. One of my customers that uses it, he said that he was, for example, he was taking about 75% of the ingredients in it separately because it's just great for general health. And he got into it because it helps with alcohol withdrawals, alcohol cravings, and then through selling it and coaching people, it seems that it helps remove the need to need something.
Yeah, I have
So,
friends of mine who are shopaholics, who are
mhm.
not, and also smokers.
Hmm.
And now I am my next try. Hey, Gavin,
Hmm.
call me. I was gonna suggest people who are addicted to the corn.
Mm.
I'm interested to know if you do this and a couple different
Mhm.
erotic meditation healing things on this. I
Mhm.
wonder if it would not work. That help
Mhm.
something, I'm gonna try it on myself.
I would imagine it would. I know I had an ex-girlfriend who was into that, and she used it to settle herself, like if she was ever in a state of unease. So if you're doing that to
Oh,
settle
she'd
yourself,
use the corny corn.
yeah, if she was in a state of unease. Um,
Is that what
um,
it is?
I don't know. I'm just saying for her, that's what, you know, she was doing it for. Um, but
Mm.
so anyway, it has a lot of general health stuff in it that one should be taking every day anyway for optimal performance. The high dose of magnesium in
Mm.
it, the liver cleanse stuff because we're all being
Genius.
poisoned. We all have
For real.
plastic. We all
Hey,
if you
Jesus.
eat what what did I say? Plastic in the food?
Poisoned.
Oh, we can't say
You
poison.
don't know that I was floating in the lake watching powder drop from the sky? Can't talk about that.
No, no. Just everybody just acknowledge that there's new clouds that we've
Yeah.
never seen before.
Mhm.
There's new clouds. The old clouds, those are old, different style. We have new clouds now that look different. That's what's happening.
That's what's happening. Okay.
Yeah, Jerome sees it.
That's
Yeah,
not,
they're
yeah.
new, you know.
New clouds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you
I've watched
Google,
it. Mm,
they released the new cloud names in 2022. So,
weird.
we've
Perfect.
had meteorology for a long time, and in 2022 there was 11 new cloud types that they came up with. I mean, that exist, of course, that were always there. You know, whatever.
Not at all being dropped.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah. It's
back
hard
to,
to it's hard to talk on the. We have so much free speech in America. It's hard to talk.
it's fun to try. So, structures freely.
Yeah, that's how you
So,
should talk. Yeah. Sorry.
so
Yep.
this is amazing.
It
And it
works.
also smells like my mother's house in the 70s.
That's probably the NAD. There's
I
a
mean,
ton of NAD in there, which NAD does so much for the human
it's
body. It's an
amazing.
amazing. It does smell a little like
It's like
sulfur.
supplemental, and
The
it's good to shoot it.
Not mainline it, shoot it like
No, put it in a little bit of water and
yeah.
just shoot it down really
Unless you
fast.
blend it with tart cherry and fever tree, then it's
Listen,
like perfect
let me tell you
bitter.
something.
It has a nice
Have you
a
tried it
nice
yet?
Yeah, I got the fever tree in the fridge
So
now.
good. And you do
I
a
didn't
little
put any
tart
tart
cherry.
cherry in it though.
And then look what I do. Look what I do. You take basil
Hmm.
and trim it up or like chop it up or muddle it like mint.
That would be a fantastic ad because basil cleans the blood.
It's
So
amazing.
that would be a great ad to it.
The
That would make
basil, I mean,
sense.
you could even do like a little basil sprig out of here.
Hmm.
This is delicious. And
Yeah.
you put a little ice in here. And then I've been playing around with like how the ice could have that uh Damanos and blue, so that blue methylene in it,
Hmm.
so that as it melted, the drink changed color.
That'd be fancy.
I'm
The
I'm messing
methylene.
I'm messing with you with your
The
mixology.
only thing that you got to be careful with methylene blue is it can turn your teeth blue.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
So can certain drinks. Anyway,
Yeah.
this is delicious, and with ice, you could just level it up. I could sip it all day, and then I get, instead of slamming it,
It's a sipper
then people think I'm crazy all day.
because of
I had somebody just
that has nothing to do with the regenerate. That's just
that's just me.
life. Right. That's
That's
just
just
life.
life with Angela.
Yeah.
Somebody
But
on
it's fun, so
a Zoom with me was like, "Wow, you're like an LSD trip."
too much
It's
truth. Too
so
much
fun.
truth for YouTube.
Well, oh my gosh. Speaking of, you will be so happy about this. Are you ready for this? Sometimes you got to celebrate the good news. I know how you like to read the headlines, and I would love for you to do that. But first, let me
My
read you.
favorite my favorite headline Instagram channel was blocked. It's, an election flu year, so
Oh, no way, really?
yeah, so I got to find multiple
How about this quote
channels.
from a Wharton professor at the Wharton University, Pennsylvania? Ready?
I'm ready.
Angela Shelton is a refreshing voice of reason, true to its core, free of virtue signaling, compassionate and at times constructively uncomfortable, bringing a
Mhm.
brand of diversity of thought sorely needed in our country's time.
That professor knows you.
I was like, dang,
That's
somebody got my email.
I would say I agree. Mhm.
Yeah,
I
because
tell you
we
what though, I want to talk that just
diversity.
makes this sprout into my mind.
Do it.
Post regenerate Angela, you're such a better communicator. For real.
I've only just begun, my friend.
No, I'm just saying,
Thank
like before you started doing regenerate,
Oh God.
I'm not saying that you were a bad communicator.
You was drunk. I'm just kidding.
It was like going to like a Robin Williams comedy show. Like it's funny, but like you didn't get all of the information because you're like, what he say? What was
He's dead now. No, just kidding. I'm still alive.
he is no, Robin Williams is dead.
Ooh, yeah, no kidding. I said I'm still alive. We
Yeah.
share the same numerology, me and him, when
Really?
it sets.
Yeah, because Robin would get kind of like I don't know. He would just get too
I I feel you.
yeah.
I'm the same. I'm like the
Post
ADHD
post
thumbnail.
regenerate though, you're a much better communicator,
I
I think.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Let's loop it back around. What are we talking about today, Sean? We're gonna come to your house for a retreat,
Yep.
and
I heard about that.
25 people. The place is already booked. Like the Airbnb,
25 now? We
it's
got
full.
I've got
No,
I've got
for staying there. But for
Oh,
your
right.
bikes now,
Right.
we can open it up to like, because I didn't put it out like in public because I'm like,
We could do 25. We could do more than 25 too. I have 40 bikes. So
whoa.
but
So so it's like now it's like people coming in from town, or if they want to, like if they're
mhm,
in town, if they're in Nashville, or if they want to come and like up to camp up with somebody or find somebody to stay, or
mhm.
maybe if they're my friend and they haven't talked to me yet.
That reminds me. I need
What time
to
is the last ride? Will be Sunday night, so it'll be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it depends on what's our last ride. We haven't even mapped it out. I just locked off all the time with him, and I was like, I want our private Jesus time on bikes.
Sure.
And then because you have a cold plunge now and the hot tub, and so like how I envision it is like your rides are so fun just by themselves, but by booking the whole time with you, we can stop at some of the places that are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the
Mm-hmm.
and ride like your regular ride, but switch it up and then go on
Mm-hmm.
nighttime rides.
We could do the regular ride at 9 and 2, and then in the evening we can go to like the Bicentennial, where great photos. We can play around with the Iron. The Iron is a unique place in Nashville. We can cruise the Greenway. Um,
Cool.
yeah,
I knew
there's.
it.
I mean, we've rode around town.
Oh,
We
well, that's why I was like, I want to make that the retreat that
yeah.
basically you take other people where you took me. Just not on.
You got it.
and,
I'll take you where I took her.
and Jerome on Saturday it would be 9 to, and then when would we go at nighttime? I don't know. Like
Maybe try to
we're asleep early.
catch the sunset. At like whenever 7:30, 8 o'clock, or maybe in
Fun.
August it's a little later. It is a little later then, but
Fun.
Fort Negley sunset. Can
Fun.
ride down the river.
Is
Um,
there anywhere where we can jump in water? Ride bike, jump in water, get back on bike.
yep, but it's a ride. It's out
Cool.
there. It's a long ride. It's like an hour and a half ride.
Cool.
Um,
That could be cool. We could do it
yeah,
like on a Saturday or Sunday, and that's just we don't. That's all we do.
yeah, that because it's an hour and a half. I mean, I've made it in 45 minutes, but that's cooking. Not everybody could do that.
No, we can just tootle around and then go
Yeah.
have meat like
That
somewhere.
is
That's
an
what I was like.
epic ride out to the dam.
Oh,
You can get in the water there. That's right by the dam. Um,
you gotta be careful. Damn.
yeah. Uh, I should Google that to make sure that it's legal to get in the water there. But
Yeah, we have to be careful. Google that.
I mean,
Family will be in town. Jerome,
it's
they're honoring his
pe-
uncle.
people get into that river to kayak. I don't know if it's yeah.
Mm,
The Stones River is the name of it. I mean, it's discussed in some. I'm thinking of a country
nice.
music song right now.
I
Jason
love it.
Isbell talks
Speaking
about
of,
the Stones.
where is Mike Ricks?
I don't
Wasn't
see anybody else in the queue.
wasn't he
No.
coming on here?
Yeah. I mean, it's too bad that Rix wasn't on last week to help with our melanin deficit for that commenter.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Emailed you link. I'm gonna just remind him that.
Any
Um,
head
I
any head
am. Go ahead.
I
Headlines.
was saying any headlines that you've
I haven't
seen.
been paying any attention. I've been living my best life, being healthy as possible, and following all the things that we're not allowed to talk about. Like, look what I got. And have you tried these ancestral brand of beef organs and bone
I
marrow?
I have actually. Their
What do you think?
Ancestral's a good brand. That's what's his name?
Takes the beef liver on you.
Paul Saldino's brand, and the Liver King is part of it too,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
But Paul Saldino is part of it as well. I mean, they're fine. It's the same thing, only they're in gel caps. They're
Hmm.
smaller. It's more expensive
Easier to swallow.
easier to swallow, more expensive. So if you don't want to have a big pill, Ancestral is great. I'm trying to get Max Liver.
You're talking about the compared to the Ultra 40.
Correct. You get more
Yeah.
liver per dollar with the Ultra
If
40.
you got a big throat, because Ultra 40, they're huge.
Yes, they are huge.
But these on Amazon, the bottles look so much bigger. They look
Yeah.
bigger. And then I got them in the package. It's so small. It's like that one fella.
Mm, yeah, that's what
You're
she
like,
said.
damn it.
Um, Yeah, and then the dose that they put on there is 6. Now the Beverly dosing is recommended 1 per 10 pounds of body weight, which makes a lot more sense to me because, well, okay, so one
Right.
just to get into it a little bit deeper, one of the biggest performance enhancing drugs available today is something called EPO. Lance Armstrong was on EPO. Many say that LeBron James is on EPO. And what EPO does is it makes your body make more red blood cells. So if you have more red blood cells, you can transport more oxygen from your lungs to your tissues. So the interesting thing about liver has copper and iron in the perfect bioavailable forms to create red blood cells. So when you eat more liver, you create more red blood cells, especially for humans that bleed once a month, you know,
Ladies,
in connection with the
women.
moon.
What's a woman?
They
Sorry, don't want to cause
that's
any
a
trouble.
that's a whole rabbit hole
I really don't want to cause any trouble
and a
today.
hot button issue these days. But
It is a hot button.
So that's why I said for those that bleed once a month, you need to rebuild, you know, your red blood cells when that happens. And this is
Hmm.
why women suffer from anemia much more than men, because they'll have low iron, and the reason why they have low iron is because they lose iron once a month. And then also they're more likely to be vegan, they're more likely to, you know, restrict their calories, so therefore restrict their
Right, so they're
iron.
not getting actual nutrients.
Right. So if they take
Hmm.
liver, it can really, I mean, because so many women are borderline anemic or an anemia, it can solve that. So if you're anemic, you're not transporting enough oxygen from your lungs to your tissues. So then you're sluggish, tired, and, you
We're
know,
not sharing any preventative information right
no,
now.
it's
We're
not.
just
This is
sharing weirdo
performance
stuff.
enhancing information.
This is some movie scene.
Yeah.
This is some beef organs. I'll tell you what, though, I will. So we are setting up events, and I'll do some while I'm there too. By the way, that'll be fun. But we're setting up events where there's food afterwards that is
Hmm.
all amazing for you, like those fudge sickles that I made, and they're made out of the steak shake. So
Hmm.
it's like you're literally eating a fudge sickle that you'll never think about it in a million years. You would never know that that's
Whew.
beef
That
organs.
steak shake is delicious, let me tell
So
you.
good.
I mean, I drink one of those every day at least, sometimes two or three.
Now, have you ever had the other dude, Andrew Tate's one that he's like, it tastes like shit because it's good for you. And
Well,
it
I
has
tell you
all the
what,
same stuff in it?
same stuff as what? Steak shake? No, it doesn't.
No, it's all no, it's all
No, no,
performance enhancer.
Andrew Tate's thing is like a powdered multivitamin. Now, look, I agree with the sentiment of if you're trying to get healthy and you're not in good health, let's not put in any of the artificial flavors, coloring, dyes. Um, you know, just give me the straight stuff. So I kind of
Hmm.
agree, and that's what I did with Regenerate too. Although I don't think it tastes. Only a handful of people have been like, "This is I can't do this," and I'm like, "Okay," but
Oh, I make it
it's
great anyway, so there's no
when you mix it
excuse.
with something,
Yeah,
it's great to
it's
use as a
amazing.
bitter in a drink, essentially. But so I agree with his sentiment
Yes.
of it doesn't have to taste good, just down it. You know, I definitely agree with that. But there is nothing special in that supplement at all. I went through the ingredients list and I was like, okay, like I don't have any need for this because my diet contains everything that's in there. But
Got you.
if you were like a vegan or eating nothing but like processed food, then
Right.
I could
Or if
understand
he's
taking
like
that supplement.
working with a bunch of dudes who like just work out and eat like crap.
Yes. Yeah, something like that. If your diet is awful, the stuff that's in that Tate supplement would help you. But
What?
if your diet is good, I don't see any point for that Tate supplement.
I'm not going to repeat that to anybody. I'm just kidding. What
Tate
is
supplement.
what's soursop bitters? What do you think about these? They're all over the internet. People are like doing them today
Yeah.
about help and black seed bitters. Have you
So
looked into these at all? What
not
is?
into the bitters specifically, but soursop is an anti cancer
Can't say
uh,
that. Does it? It's a joke.
anti
Something,
anti
something.
it helps the body release pockets of inflammation that
You're doing a good job.
can make one sick if one does not detox.
This
Uh,
tastes like crap. Like you
So
want this is not fun. And I have tried, and
I,
there's a very hard way to make that taste good.
Yeah, black seed. So black seed bitters, I just question why not just consume the black seed oil.
Right.
I use black seed oil
I do
almost
too.
every day.
So what's
Uh,
the bitters? Is it another part of the seed
I haven't looked into what the benefit or the detraction is from bitters. I'll say this. For example, I take sea moss because it's high in minerals, right? And I think minerals are very important to health. I have a sea moss gel that's like a direct extract. So there's like no fooling around. It's sea moss, right?
that you
And
take it like a
and
spoonful of it?
a spoonful of it, right? And it's the same thing like with in the cannabis world, right? Like, you know, the more natural I think the better things are, the less processing the better.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying, because I haven't looked into the bitter specifically of black seed oil. I have looked into black seed oil, and black seed oil is terrific. It was in King Tut's tomb.
No
There's
way.
a Yeah, there's a reason
Forgot
for
about
that.
that part.
It's big in Egyptian culture. Egyptians, it's like their elixir for life. Yeah, I mean, black seed oil is fantastic. Cleans mucus, makes you
Goji
less
berry?
likely to get sick. Yeah, goji berries are great. Yeah, they're filled with, I forget what the mineral is, but they're very high in some mineral that is key for health.
Did you see how
I, I
Barbara O'Neill got canceled everywhere?
yeah, yeah, and she's
She
a gem.
she's
Although
a
I think she leans a little vegan, which you know, but she's got a lot of information, and it's wonderful. It's amazing. I mean, it's just that's the world we live in. I mean, the number one industry. All you have to do is punch into Google and what industry makes the most money, and you'll see what that industry is.
human trafficking.
No, I believe that's two or three.
Number one is people getting sick.
Number one is pharmaceuticals
Right.
by a lot, like more than oil by like a factor of four.
Yeah.
So
That's why they're like,
if you think
you need
big
to
oil's got
feel.
if you think big oil's got some juice, they got nothing on big farm.
Speaking of juice, because you and I talk about ways to be, not that we're talking about preventing anything. We're just
No,
talking about ways to be healthy.
performance
And
enhancing.
and lemons are so expensive, right?
Lemons are?
Lemons are so
I
expensive.
haven't bought a lemon in a long time. I've been buying limes.
I like both, but look what I found. Lemon juice powder. It's
Mm,
the lemon made into a powder. And guess what this is? Like, guess how I've tricked my kid with this one? You know
mm,
that we used to have those dip sticks.
mm.
Like you would dip a stick and it's like it's
Yeah.
all sugar. This
Hmm.
is literally lemon. It's so like that the child who is addicted to the sugar stuff, I give
Mm.
her this with some fruit to dip in it. And
Yeah.
I did like sliced limes and sliced
Eh,
kiwis.
I bet
And
that's
she
good.
was like, it's like a dipstick. I was like, don't
Yeah.
worry, it's like lemon sugar. Fine.
I
It's just lemon.
you she I would be interested to see if she likes the thing that I do with vinegar, apple cider vinegar. So apple
Mm,
cider vinegar, hot water, cinnamon, lime, fresh squeezed lime, and salt.
cinnamon.
Yeah, it's kind of sweet. I mean, obviously you can make it
Interesting.
too vinegary where a kid probably wouldn't like it, but that is a great liver body detox. I think it tastes
Oh,
great. I
the
think
other
vinegar,
one.
a little bit of vinegar in any kind of drink kind of gives it a little bite, a little tang. It's
Interesting.
nice, maybe in your regenerate cocktail.
Yeah, I've used balsamic vinegar in whiskey drinks, but
Here's
never
a
in.
here's another hack. Um,
I'm squirting.
Exotic balsamic vinegar. So you
I
do
have some.
exotic balsamic vinegar in um, soda water. Try it.
Oh, it tastes like a cola.
Hmm.
Tastes like a soda.
Tastes
So,
like a soda.
what kind? Tonic water?
No, soda water.
Soda water.
So like Gerald Steiner is my favorite to do that with.
Soda water.
And then, they make balsamics that are made with fig. They make
Yeah.
balsamic cherry, balsamic.
Yum.
And I bet you could put a dash of tart cherry in there too, which would make
Yeah.
it like a cherry Coke. But even your like low end balsamic in Gerolsteiner really does taste like a Coke, but since it doesn't have any sugar in it, or it has very
Mm.
minimal sugar depending on the balsamic, it has that bite that tastes like a soda, but it doesn't leave you with that like sticky. Uh,
Right.
it's great. It's
Mm.
fantastic. So get an exotic balsamic vinegar, mix it with Gerolsteiner or your favorite soda water.
This is like
Gerolsteiner just has more fizz than
mm.
the other soda waters,
Gerald
if you
fizzes
ask
more.
me. Yeah, it's got more bite. So it's
I'm
kind of
telling you,
like fountain versus,
yum. Right, right, right.
Tang.
That's a good. This
I'm
is
gonna
a
use the
Jesus
Gerolsteiner.
health hour. So
Yeah,
anyway,
speaking of health, I was talking to one of my yoga teachers, um, because
one
she,
one of
yeah,
them.
she was talking about it and like
Hey,
eating
Gene.
oats or something, and I was like, "That's peasant food. Don't eat oats." And then after class, she was like, "What? Why don't oats? Oats are heart healthy. Oats are good." I was like, "No, no, no. Oats are one of the worst things you can eat because they are totally polluted with glyphosate."
This is true.
And then the way that they process them, how they open up the oat kernels so that they're easier to cook and easier to digest.
Right, right.
I mean,
Just,
just think about how much glyphosate could be on that. It's
just
massive,
soaking it up. Just soaking it
massive.
up.
And I mean, I tried to eat oats for a while before I researched into that, and I was like, these don't make me feel good at all. So watch out for oats. There's some bad oats going
There's some
around
bad
these parts.
oats
This
in
is
there.
performance
Oh,
enhancing talk, by the way. Performance
performance enhancing. Well,
enhancing talk.
and also mixologist. So I'm
What?
gonna start as I go around. I'm gonna start doing like drinks with this
So
stuff.
we got more deep into stuff, into health, wellness, yada yada. And then she asked me something along the lines of like, I don't know, maybe it was something along the lines of what else is like terrible that, or what else is a performance enhancer? And I was like, seed oils. You know, the most difficult thing to get in everyone's diet is fat. And our ancestors knew this. Like our ancestors used to save all the bacon grease, save all the tallow, anything that was left in the pan that was fat that would get
Save
put
it.
into a fat thing.
Yeah.
And then she was like, you know what? I've been all over this city. I love biscuits. She's Southern. She's from the South. And no biscuit has ever tasted as good as my grandmother's. And she made it with lard. And I was like, bingo, because the human body craves fat. This is why humans love fries. This is
Mm.
why humans love chips. It's a lot of great mouth feel, but it's about the fat. It's the
Hmm.
That's why when you deep fry anything, it people love it. Deep fried chicken, deep fried whatever. It's people overeat that stuff, and it's because of the fat. So think about your organism that's low on fat, because the hardest thing to get is 30% of your calories from fat. And then you have something that is loaded with fat, you're going to take down a bunch of that. But they use inferior fats in most chips. There's two
Yeah.
brands now that use avocado oil for chips, and I'll get those occasionally. Siete is one of
Oh yeah.
them,
My mom likes
and
that
like
one.
Boulder, I think, is another brand. But those are the only two that I've seen at Whole Foods or anywhere that doesn't use the toxic seed oils. And the other thing is too, seed oils were designed to lubricate machinery.
What'd you say?
They were not designed for human consumption because they knew back in the day that it was not good for humans. And then after it was,
Jesus.
I mean, no, it's performance enhancing to get 30% of your calories from fat. But the better fat you take, the better it is for you. And tallow, lard, that's among the best. So
I,
anyway, she was, you know, had linked together some things with her, and
and just totally unaware,
Yeah.
like literally unaware, and think is hoarding oats.
Well, probably going through life thinking, I'm eating oats. Oats are good.
If you grew
Uh,
them yourself.
yeah, but even then, I mean, there's not that much nutrition in it.
Jean is on here. Something happened to her with her the other day, which was really
What
funny.
happened to Gene?
Jean, I love Jean so much. She was like, "Well, I have to admit that I ate the Twinkie, and then and we're in a group, right? And then Sandy says, "Okay, okay, well, think it's good you admitted that. The real question is, when was the last time you had one?"
Hmm.
Yesterday. You missed it. You don't think that's funny? Come on.
What, that she had it yesterday?
Yeah, it was like, I just have to admit something. I had the Twinkie. Well, when was the last time you had one?
Yeah,
Yesterday.
yesterday.
It's funny. It's like,
Hey,
oh God.
that
I,
was yesterday, so just don't have one today if
yeah.
you're
Every
trying
day
not
is
to
a
have.
new day
Yeah.
to not put poison.
There
I was like,
really only is the now. You mean to do performance enhancing things, is what you mean.
it's all the now. Speaking
Yeah.
of the now, I read the Mary Magdalene Gospel, which is fitting because we kind of
That's
look.
now?
That's right now.
Oh, that's funny. Okay.
And the Mary Magdalene Gospel is so short, and it is because there's a lot of pages missing, and what they found was
Hmm.
basically matter decomposes the end. Like all things are matter, all things turn into itself, everything is one. The
Hmm.
real answer and the clarity is in the in between space. Is in the
Hmm.
meditation, is in the silence, is in the space in between. It's like it was
Yeah.
like and then everyone's like, what?
Yeah. You Poster, you remember Poster?
Oh yeah.
Posted Pat, an artist in Phoenix, Arizona. Now he hails from. One of the biggest things, and we used to have, a lot of conversations, and one of the things that blew his mind was, you are not your thoughts, you are the area in between. That's really who you are. And it's crazy because a lot of people, they go through life thinking that constant narrative, that chatter in their head is them. And that's not
Listen,
them.
Gene, listen.
That's your mother, your father, your aunt, your teachers. That constant dialogue, that constant chatter isn't you. You are the area in between the thoughts. And I've seen comments on like Reddit where people or threads on Reddit where people are like, can you believe that like people just go through life without a constant dialogue in their heads? And it's like,
That's what you're
yeah,
aiming for, right?
that's what you're aiming for,
It's like,
Padawan. And
be
then
Padawan,
all and
Obi-Wan.
then all of the comments are like, yeah, the low IQ people that don't have a dialogue in their head. It was just slamming people that don't have a dialogue in their head
That aren't going
endlessly.
over like that time you said something and I'm still mad about it. And then the next time I see that,
Yeah,
I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna tell her that you said this thing, and then when I said blah, blah,
yeah.
blah, 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 blah.
And all of their eyes look like that, I'm sure. And they've probably Starbase, yay. But it was amazing how many comments were just slamming the people that don't have a constant dialogue in their head. And it's like I get in trouble
Oh,
for saying quotes or saying things that are not in trouble, but people lambast me. But
I love you, Gene.
you know the 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 quote of like, if you find yourself on the side of the majority, it's time to pause, reflect, and adjust course.
Yeah, exactly. That's for
And it
sure.
was and just looking through those comments about how people were talking down about, and it's like, okay, look, I come from American society, and where there's, it's not like Buddhist countries where there's some meditation taught. you know I know what it's like to live with constant chatter in the head. It's a
You been
lot
there?
less fun than not. You know what I mean? It's a lot more interesting to find the area in between. A lot more interesting. So it's just I felt both like a little bit like aghast at how many people
We're hating on it.
look. I have no qualms. I understand that that's how our culture runs right now, and I'm not
Everybody
saying that
mad.
I'm not saying that I was just surprised at how much negative attitude there was towards people that don't have a constant chatter in their heads. And I just somebody needs to tell those people to meditate or, you know,
Gene.
that they are not their thoughts, they are the area in between.
She is finding
Which
that space, but then Gene is finding that space, and you hit the nail on the head, and I'd love you to repeat it.
which thing?
You hit the nail on the head that the constant chatter is not them; it's their dad, it's their mom, it's their
Yeah. It's their teacher. It's whatever childhood shows or news or mentor whomever. It's not the voice they may identify as their voice, as their head, as the sound of the voice is them in their head, but it's not. It's not because when you live in intention, there's no voice, there's only do, there's only the present moment. So there's what you're doing. You don't need a voice. You know, you know, you don't have if you're
Gene.
driving a car, you don't say in your head, and I'm going to turn on the left turn signal, and I'm going to turn the
Right,
wheel
you're just
left,
driving.
and then I'm going to apply some gas. You know, you just turn the turn signal on and turn the wheel, right? So what's all the chatter for? It
Fill up
doesn't
the
that's
space.
right. I mean, it's and I, you know,
I think a lot of because I know a lot of women like this.
mhm,
Was just talking about one today, and it's not Eugene. A lady that I know who she'll ask you a question, but she'll answer the question that she asked you.
mhm,
You know, like she's not ever. There's no space for you to talk,
mhm.
and usually those people were ignored, not listened to. Like they're just they're in their little kid that
Yeah,
they're just not in the room. It's almost like I'm in the room,
right.
I'm in the room, I'm in the room,
They're
I'm in the room,
they're not
I'm in the room.
actually present. Yeah.
It's like they're
Yeah.
proving that they're worthwhile. Their value is worthwhile.
It was just it was a truly shocking Reddit. It was um yeah, but
And to be, just to be in the space in between. This is what Jesus and Mary talked about is just being.
yeah. And for people that are trying to meditate and getting started in meditation, it's not about having no chatter in your head. It's about every time there is chatter in your head, you note it and you tell yourself, you know, I'm meditating right now. I'm not going to have chatter. You can acknowledge, you know,
Go outside,
that you
y'all.
need to pick up a gallon of milk. You can acknowledge that you need to take the
Ooh,
trash out. But it's a problem if you're in your head, if in your constant dialogue, I need to take the trash out. I need to take the trash out. I need to eat some Twinkies. I need to eat some Twinkies. I need to take the trash out. I need to get some Twinkies. I mean, you know what I mean? Like if that's constantly looping through your head, um,
yep.
yeah,
Jean's getting it. She's taking Regenerate. She's noticing a big
nice.
difference.
So there's a comment about GABA. Can you read that? Something
Yeah, that's
about
Jean. She says GABA
okay.
and Regenerate and personal growth and healing helps. And yes, prayer, meditation.
Yeah,
Yep.
prayer is meditation. The if you go to a transcendental meditation class, they give you a word that they make a big production of is your word. It's a Sanskrit word, and um, that's your word, and you say it over and over again. Well, if you're saying prayers over and over again, that's literally the same thing as transcendental meditation.
I say, I love you, Jesus. I love you, Jesus.
Over and over again. And then the key is if you're saying that in your head over and over again, the hack to get into meditative state faster is to try to turn I love you Jesus, I love you Jesus into just the sounds of the word. So you're not thinking about words. You're just making the sounds in your head. So like if a priest tells you that you need to do 100 Our Fathers,
Hmm.
you get to a point where you're no longer saying the words. You're just ripping through it as sounds in your head. That's
Interesting.
meditation. That's why prayer is meditation, and it's interchangeable with well, but I mean, unless you're talking about prayer where you're like, sweet
Save that,
eight,
save baby
eight,
Johnny.
sweet 8 pound, 6 ounce baby Jesus, please provide me with sufficient Mountain Dew to make it through my weekend. Okay, that's a
That's that kind of
prayer
prayer.
maybe, but it's not the same sounds over and over again. If you do 100 Our Fathers, then eventually we'll get out of words into sounds. And that's the same thing as having no chatter in your brain.
Mm. And then sounds, you mean you're getting also into like the ohms and the hues and the oohs and the
You could,
chanty sounds? Is that what you mean?
well, again, this is in the head.
Got you, got you.
This is for people that are trying to meditate with transcendental style or prayer style. It's you have to do enough of the prayers where it's no longer words, where it converts into mouth or into sounds in the head.
Do you ever chant? Do you do meditation by doing chanting?
I do the I'm trying to remember the tone in Iyengar yoga right now. It's
Funny, you just go. You froze there for
oh
a second.
right.
It looked really funny. I asked you that, and
It,
like Jesus, like I don't know. Let me go into
well, I
it.
was trying to to recall stuff. It is an ohm. I because I what how do you say it? Because it's a tone, right? So it is an ohm. And it's connected with breath work. You take a huge inhale, and then you do a ohm, and you can really feel it vibrate your whole chest and your whole organism, and it definitely does help for sure.
I was
Yeah,
raised with Hugh instead of Om. It was Hugh.
that's so it would be that would be great to do in tandem with the ohm because one of the lymphatic drainage techniques that I picked up from Perry Nicholson, great guy to follow.
Love that guy. That's so clever.
Va-a-e. Do you remember va-a-e when I told you about that when you're
Yeah,
beating on
yeah,
your
yeah,
chest?
yeah.
Right. So this is why chanting and singing is so good for you because if you're doing different frequencies are, performance enhancing, let's just say. So
Mm.
va, you're rattling the chest, ah, and then e is more in the head when you go into the higher frequencies. So your tone, whatever you just said, that's more in the
Mm.
head. Hugh, where
Right,
va,
right. You
that's
feel
more
it in
rattling
your
your
right, right.
right, right. So then if you wanted to get further out there,
We're getting
what
crazy.
what part of the body you're vibrating would be your different chakras, or some people call them energy centers
That's what they call it. There's a sale, 40% off.
of Mountain Dew.
I literally just side note because you and I have talked about everything, and I want to get back to Gene. I want to get to Gene's comments, but you and I talk
Yeah.
about everything, and you just said buzzing anywhere in the body, right? I was just talking to a today a seller for the Pure Romance, the toys for the ladies that are in my golf
Mm.
movie,
Okay.
and I was seeing how I could sign up to see like when I talk about that golf movie, I could have like an affiliate link for those things, and
Okay.
and she's like, "Oh, we have all kinds of setups so that you could have a package that's delivered every month that's like 40% off." And I'm in my head, I'm like, "What in the hell? Are you getting like vibrating duty booty toys a new package every month?" Like I'm like, "Damn. What's going on?
Yeah, what's going on is right. It's like
What is going
make a
on?"
connection with a human,
I was like, "Wow."
put
Like
away the plastic
yeah,
for the
exactly.
love of God.
Could we teach people how to do some things? Anywho, so
And then
could
performance
you imagine
enhancing tip
every
for
month?
performance enhancing tip for anytime you're in, well, in life in general. And, I've said this to people before and they're like, you're right. Like, I don't breathe. A lot of people, as soon as they sit in front of the computer, they retent their breath.
Yeah, you're. Oh,
As soon as
I.
one of my
Yeah.
buddies who was watching, I don't know if he's still on here, like we were building where the cold and hot plunge are. So like this little platform. And every time he would pick up a hammer or a screwdriver, he would hold his breath and tense up his face. And I'm like, yo, is tensing up your face and holding your breath helping you screw that in? No.
That's how a lot of people screw, Sean, by tensing up and holding
That
their
was
breath.
that was my performance enhancing thing that I was about to point out. Put the plastic away and
Breathe.
focus just on breathing downward into your legs or into your taint, into your feet. Just breathing downward is the key. The more that you can breathe downward, to get into that if you want to get woo woo into the root
You could
chakra.
get some woo woo on them. Okay.
The point is that be present, and to be present, you cannot be lacking in oxygen, because as soon as you're lacking in oxygen, you switch from a parasympathetic dominant state to a sympathetic dominant state, and now you are no longer present. What you are is the chatter in your head at that point. You are the construct of everything you've heard and been told. When you're in a parasympathetic dominant state, when you're oxygen rich, you're a presence. And so you're actually there and participating.
Yeah.
Whether
Speaking of,
you're, oh, but one other thing to say about that, I've made that, I've said that to people about computer work, because I
yeah.
remember when I was younger, every time I got in front of the computer, I didn't really want to be there. And I would tense up and not breathe. And I was still using coffee back then.
Mm.
And I said,
Stop
well,
talking about me.
there's one thing that you have to be aware of when you start breathing everywhere in your life. If you have not been breathing everywhere in your life, you have not been present. So you have to be prepared that you might not like everything that you do every day. Once you become present, you
Mm-hmm.
might be like, oh my God, I hate working this job.
For
I
real.
hate being around these people. I hate,
Yeah.
going to this bar. I hate
Like, I'm gonna change my whole
every
life.
moment of my life because you went through your whole life not present. And the being that you are, the presence that you are, does not jive with the life that you built for yourself when you were
So
unconscious.
true.
And so I remember I've said this to people before. I've been like, you got a lot going on. Maybe don't worry about your breathing at work right now. Do it everywhere else, but not
She might be like,
stay
I quit
stay
today.
as right. I was like, maybe you want to stay asleep. Uh
Just there.
Finish, get all the rest of the life
Get paid and then
going
breathe.
well, and yeah, keep your check coming in,
It's
because
funny.
I have a sense that you might not like your job
That's really funny.
from what you're
Um,
telling me. And so maybe don't breathe there. Stay unconscious
circling
for 8
back to
hours a
that
day.
though, to give like
Yeah.
some super value. One, I
Hmm.
have to point out that Jerome says, when you're down and out, give your troubles to God. God bless you, Jerome. I love you.
Yeah.
And Jean, who says the voice that talks you out of so much in life. So,
Hmm.
and she's just to circle back to that negative thought, when your chatter is actually
Hmm.
not you, it's your dad, your mama, and she goes, that's what she was raised with, a lot of criticism nonstop.
Right.
Interesting. And then so she should sing and dance more, I guess.
Yeah.
Even when it's kind of, yeah, like that literally
I,
is the answer, right? It's like that's what I
what?
say, like profound play.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's something that I want to do more of, sing and dance more. But what a weird state that we're in right now, where
To
you have to be like an odd outcast artist to like
breathe.
do that stuff, to sing, dance, and create art, where that used to
Woo.
be just part of being human. And now it's like it's like a weird artist person, that
How,
has odd clothes on or something. And yeah, it's and the other thing that I try to mention a lot is just get out of judgment and into curiosity.
that's so true.
Instead of judging yourself or judging others, get into being
So,
curious
so,
of
so
why
true.
you are the way you are, or curious why they are the way they are. A lot of people, a lot of friends and family, when you're making a change, they
They ain't gonna like it.
right, they sense that you're leveling up, and
Hmm.
you leveling
So
up,
true.
they associate with them losing you.
Yep.
So even if they love you and care for you and you are their best friend or their favorite daughter or favorite son, that anything that takes you away from them, you know, even if they're unconscious, so they just see you leaving them, that gives
Exactly.
them more stress, and then they'll start throwing wrenches and sticks in your spokes, to
Sap
use an
ha-
analogy.
happens
Now,
in my mom. Yep.
yeah, I mean, I've you know lucky enough to not have a bunch of family, or have people that I didn't
That do
have to
that
go
shit.
through a lot of that. But I think that a lot of people, especially from a big family where they have a lot of siblings, and where they still live in their hometown, because when I went through this stuff, I didn't live in my hometown anymore, so I didn't have the people around me that I knew for 20 years
Right,
in
that
my
are pulling
face
me
all the
down.
time. Right. So if you still live in your hometown and you're still around all these people and you're starting to breathe and you're figuring out what your presence is and what your presence likes, those people are going to come after you, but not because they don't love you and they don't want the best for you, because they're unconscious and they feel like they're losing you, which puts them more into a panic,
So
which
true.
puts them more unconscious, which means that they do more shitty things to you.
Yeah.
And that would also go for the
So
chatter
crazy.
in your mind. The
Right. So
chatter
that
in your
if you don't
mind
have
too.
them around, that your chatter will be them for you.
Right.
That's what you said.
Plus,
Like you're basically, yeah. I love it.
correct. Plus, your body gets addicted to stress hormones. So if you're on coffee, cortisol,
Why are you
adrenaline,
talking about me?
all of those hormones, as soon as you stop that, you might be really tired. You know, you might be really tired, and you might be really tired because you were running on stress hormones for the last 20, 30, 40, 50 years. So now you have to figure out how to be energized
Cool.
without those stress hormones. So,
I'm creating drinks over here.
yeah, you're not supposed to breathe it in.
I put cayenne in it.
Oh, okay.
Makes it a great drink, but it makes it like, whoo.
I I
By
used to
the
do it.
way, speaking of family, John says, "Man, you look like my brother that lives in England." So y'all are reunited,
Bob's your
and it
uncle.
feels so good.
British slang is great.
So this is very informative. I love talking to you, and I love that we're just sharing it out loud with everyone
Mm.
because this has helped me so much. It's helped eat me. I eat better now. Not that we're preventing anything.
No, no, no. This is performance enhancing talk.
We're not
That's what this
preventing
is.
anything. I'm not in my
No.
50s looking this way.
Listen, y'all, take your ninth dose. Everybody's supposed to be on their ninth dose.
And
If you're not on your ninth dose, you're not a true believer.
I just made cranberry, goji berry,
Hmm.
monk fruit, lemon,
Mm.
uh, with regenerate was delicious. It's so sour.
Goji
And then,
berries are so good. I can't even have
oh,
them around me. I'll eat
so
the whole
good.
bag.
This is
They're so
powdered.
chewy. Oh,
It's
okay.
powder, so
Whew.
I have the
You get real
flavor.
goji berries.
I know
They're
they're so
so
good.
good. They're like, you just want to, and they're so perfectly chewy.
but
I can't have them around. I'll down the whole thing.
they're so good for you. And this was
Yeah.
super sour, like a little like a sour drink with regenerate. And then I put a little bit more lemon and some cayenne.
Mm.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, ooh,
I
it
don't
turns
see why
into
not.
like what's some good. I like this mixologist happening.
That's hey,
I
if anybody wants to partner up to do a non-alcoholic cocktail bar, I
ooh,
just want to do the drink menu. I don't want to run it. I just want to do the drink menu. There's so many things
so
out there
many. Well, that's
that
what I
are a
want to.
legal buzz that are so much better for
Hmm.
you than all of the sanctioned stuff. Um, and then, making it, yeah,
Like that.
yeah,
Woo,
makes you want to smack your mama
woo.
and
But then
wink.
all of this stuff is so good for you. Like
Right.
I'm not putting in red dye number 40 and all this stuff, you know?
Right.
Like this is
The place that I envision is a coffee shop and a bar, non-alcoholic or just low gravity plus all the accoutrement that I would bring to the table.
you're talking about my
Um,
house.
yeah,
I want to make the traveling loot lounge. That's what I want. So I want my car is essentially a kitchen.
I almost did that with I found these trailers that the
I'm in.
sides flip out and then they have seating areas on
Perfect.
the flip outs.
Oh
And then
my
there was
god.
a spiral staircase. So on the top of the
What?
trailer, there was
What?
also a seating area. So two seating and then a walk up on the tail end of the trailer. And
What?
then the inside of the trailer was like a bar.
What?
So yeah, I almost bought it.
Where is this?
It's made in China. Um, it's I found
It's
it
on the
on
seats.
On the Alibaba. I talked to them.
You're
It
like,
was
I
like
found it
a
on Timu.
6 month to build and get.
What?
Um, and then it's funny is the place that I was going to put it in Nashville. Somebody put the same trailer I was looking at
Nuh-uh.
right there, but they were like selling euros or I don't know. It wasn't my concept, but it
Damn.
was the same trailer, and I was like, oh, makes sense. Nice work, fellas.
So that's one of those like basically trailers that has like a kitchen in it. Like they're selling hot dogs
But
out of
the
it, like
one,
a one like that.
yeah, sort of like that, except bigger than a hot dog trailer. Um, I think it
Why do
was
I all
like,
of a sudden want a hot dog? I need to get it out of my head. You just said that, and I was like,
um,
chili
but
dog.
yeah, put something on that dog to make it. Unless you're talking all beef, Vienna beef, Chicago style hot dog. I haven't ate
Brendan says,
bread.
"What's
I
a
haven't ate bread
European?"
in so long, but maybe I would if I went to Chicago. I'd have big beef dipped hot from Portillo's.
What's a
What's
euro? What's a European?
gyro? Well, some people call them gyro, but they're pronounced gyros.
Euro.
It is a lamb meat mix that's put on a spit
Oh
and
yeah, those are good
roasted.
actually.
Another term for it in
Very
some
good.
cultures is shawarma. Uh, it is there's levels to gyros and shawarma. There's different qualities of meat. The low quality stuff I do not like, but the high quality shawarma where it's
That's good
spiced
stuff.
right, it is
Hmm.
delicious.
This is
Um,
delicious.
yeah,
Yeah.
Pita Inn in Chicago. If anybody is watching from Chicago,
Woo.
Pita Inn in Chicago has delicious shawarma.
Does gluten in bread make our skin itchy? I want to give up.
For me, it absolutely does. I'll get itchy if I eat gluten.
But it's not the
Um,
gluten; it's the glyphosate.
Well, it's the
Glyphosate, whatever.
glyphosate that makes the gluten bad for you because the glyphosate opens up the tiny junctions in your intestines and stomach so that the gluten passes through where it's not supposed to pass through. And then that's what makes you itchy is the gluten. But without the glyphosate, we could consume a lot of gluten without any detrimental effects because our mucous membrane in our intestines and stomach would keep out the gluten. It would
He's
not
just
allow it
telling
into our system.
a
This is
Funny story,
performance
Gene.
enhancing.
This is a performance. He's acting
No,
right
this is
now.
performance enhancing information. What?
You're
Yeah.
acting. We're performing now.
Oh, okay. All
Oh,
right
you want it?
then.
We're
Should we talk
performing.
like anchor people?
Speaking of performing, I want to tell you a story that I thought you would find interesting with somebody. Like you've seen this experience with me at my studio in Nashville, where men like me a lot. They appreciate me speaking openly about the things I speak to, for the most part. Women, especially very, very, very Christian women, are like,
Wait, they hold their breath?
yes,
Ooh,
definitely hold,
sounds like they're in judgment.
definitely hold their breath in judgment. Yeah, yeah, for sure. And I was talking to this one precious lover, awesome, but she said something amazing because you and I always talk about having only one face, and how all the people
Yes.
have like so many faces. And
Yeah.
she's
Do
like,
I
I
let me
just
say that oh go ahead.
go ahead. The three
I was just going to
faces.
say that there's a Japanese proverb that says this is in Japanese culture that
Hmm.
everyone has three faces. One you show your friends, one you show your family, and one you show no one. But that's a very orderly society. I would make the argument that in America, with social media, where some people have 10 different social media accounts where they pretend to be somebody different on
Yeah.
every single one of them, I would make the argument that in American society, people are stacking faces upon faces upon faces. And the more faces that you have, the more fragmented you are. The more fragmented that you are, the less power that you have.
Yep.
You're getting further and further away from knowing yourself.
So speaking of knowing yourself, I was talking about a healthy sex life, and
Okay.
she was
We did this.
very she watched an interview I did, and was saying how it triggered her, and she was in a lot of like, ooh, I live by scripture, and like, don't you think all that is a sin, and like, how do you feel about sin, and how do you feel about, and so we were having this whole discussion, and she was just kind of feeling me out to see what my belief system is. And I was like, open with her, but I'm like also like, hey, where is this coming from? Like, where do you feel uncomfortable? Like, where? And she goes, well, I just don't know how to be, because like I need to know, like,
Hmm.
am I gonna be my scripture person self, or can I talk to you as like a my business side? And I was like, how about just
Hmm.
one? How about
Right,
just
but
you?
we're tap dancing around Jungian psychology, Carl Jung psychology, and the thing that you have to do is you have to integrate, and you gotta so that you have the same face everywhere. And then it life become and then you're actually doing discovery of yourself. And as you're doing discovery of yourself, then when you bump into other humans, then you are actually expanding the consciousness of the one consciousness, hence the one in Nashville, the one,
The one.
the one. When you're fragmented people bumping into fragmented people, they're in a play. They're
Worried
not
about fragments. Oh my God, we're like worried about people fragmenting, because how do I know that you're like fragmenting is like the same as my fragmenting? So I don't want to like upset your
right,
fragmenting.
right, right,
I was
exactly.
trying to get you to Guadalupe with me.
Well, I'll let you know by my up talk that I believe in everything I'm supposed to. So we got Michael Ricks here.
No way, awesome. And
Yeah, he
Jean,
just clicked in.
Jean
Do we want
says
to
her
finish our
itching.
thought?
Well,
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, we'll finish. Go ahead.
Jean says her itching. She notices that it comes back after too much bread or crackers or chips.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what happened to me. And then I can tell you what happens after that if you keep eating bread, crackers, and chips. Then eventually it causes um, like skin damage. You'll have pustules, like pimples. That is from gut health. And when your mucous membrane is perforated from the glyphosate, and you're getting all kinds of different proteins and lectins from the food that you eat and other toxins that they put into processed food. The itching is first. Second is pustules, boils, redness, all everything that's
Sounds
known as
fun.
whatever skin condition comes next after that.
How about some
But
pumpkin seed?
the itching is really annoying with the glyphosate combo. And hey, you know
Yikes.
what? That if you're when you're in tune with yourself and you realize that stuff, that is your body telling you don't eat that.
Get some organic sprouted pumpkin seeds, Gene.
Uh, what you say now?
All cheaper stuff. It's because it's the cheap shit. You're buying this cheap stuff, and that's
It's
got the
not.
worst stuff in it.
It's not cheaper. It's not cheaper at all. For a pound of beef from Whole Foods, it's $6 for grass finished. At least maybe it's grass fed and
But she's
finished.
saying that the cheap stuff, like the cheap bags and stuff, like when she's gritting,
It's
you know,
not cheap because you have to pay for it on the other end.
this is
You
true.
pay you pay your doctor, you pay for the
That's true.
medicines, for the
Oh shit,
supplements.
that's true.
It's
Is that
not
Mike?
cheap. It's
Where's Michael?
expensive. That is falling. He just dropped off. Tell him to jump back on. I was gonna bring him in and introduce him, but he's gone. Um, yeah, so it's not cheap, not at all. What is hello? Hello, Angela, Jesus of Nashville. That's the first time I've heard that one. Jesus of Nashville.
I
All right, we
hate
got
being.
Michael Ricks. Michael Ricks coming in. I'm gonna
Yay!
introduce Michael Ricks to everybody.
Hey man, what's
How are you
up?
guys?
He's
Sorry
a
it took me so long to get online. I had dropped a friend off at the
oh,
airplane
no
place.
problem. No problem.
But
Just happy
At
to
the
have you on here.
airplane
Let
place.
me let me introduce Michael real quick. So Michael Ricks is is self-described black man with a banjo. I hear you say that all the time. Great banjoist. Is it a banjoist? Banjoer?
that's one of the descriptions, of course. Yeah, definitely. I say I play banjo country. That's what I call it.
Banjo banjo country, yeah. And then he's got like an
Yeehaw!
R&B voice. So it's like a smooth R&B voice on top of a banjo. I think it sounds very R&B. Um but hey, among the greats, Chris Stapleton, that dude's singing straight R&B over country music.
He
I
most
mean,
certainly is. He most
straight
certainly is.
R&B. I mean, you change the music on Stapleton, put a little 70s, you know, um, funk, soul. His voice sits right on top of that perfectly. Anyway, Michael Ricks,
Michael Ricks, what's up, Michael?
banjoist.
Well, it's good to be here with you guys and finally catch up after a little bit of not making
Yeah,
these gatherings. And I'm adjusting my camera here so that
yeah,
it looks a little bit more reasonable.
you're good.
And then, are
Yeah, yeah.
you in
But yeah,
town? Are you in town the first weekend of August? Are you on the road? August 2, 3,
no, I'm
4.
going to be
Uh
yeah.
oh.
Well, actually, like the first through the third, I'll be in town. But then I'll be on the road. I'll be out with a guy named LT Smooth. He's the guest performing artist for Zach Brown. So I'm going to meet him
Oh, fun.
in Maui. So we're
Fun.
going to be playing some shows out there. So yeah, see
Wow.
what.
But you're in town
See
until when?
what's
The third, second, third,
yeah, to the third.
second.
How
Okay,
long
sweet.
you in Maui?
For like 3 days, 4 days.
That's great.
Nice.
Enjoy that. That's gonna be
Maui,
beautiful.
nice. Well,
Yeah.
Uh,
because you're gonna come hang out with us at the retreat, so because I got
What's
him for 3 days,
what's what's the date of the retreat again?
August 2nd, 3rd, 4th,
Okay.
Friday, Saturday,
All right, there
Sunday.
we go. Yeah,
He's like, "What are
so
we doing?"
riding bikes, hot
I'm
and
doing
cold
regenerate.
plunges, regeneration.
I'm hanging out.
Um,
We'll go live.
Yeah.
What you got going on, Michael Ricks?
Oh, just we're gonna play some shows out there, and I'm gonna get to know him. He's played with everybody from Paul McCartney to like he's kind of doing what Carlos Santana was doing. Uh,
Oh,
showing up
that's
with
cool.
Rob Thomas and all these
Mm-hmm.
different artists. So he's kind of doing the same thing. He'll just come in and do a specialty group of songs, and he'll come in do a set of whatever artist he's playing out with, and then he'll break up their set with 2 or 3 songs, and then the main artist will come back and take the stage again.
Fun. Well, we're
Cool.
talking health in here, and I know that Sean helped you with your throat and singing and the black seed oil and the heartburn. Not that we talk about getting better in here. We're not. We're acting, Michael.
All performance
We are
enhancing
just
information.
performing here.
Because if it was health and wellness information, we could be banned.
We
But
can't
performance enhancing, that's fine. YouTube rules. I know it doesn't make
Yes.
sense, but that's the rules.
Do you guys have steroids I can take?
Anyway. Well, that's an
you have
extreme
any-
performance enhancing. That's robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Oh my
Or
god.
Viagra?
What would be a
Viagra.
natural? What would be? Hold on, I'm gonna tell. Okay, a natural
Viagra?
supplement for that one would be niacin, and
Really?
niacin is in Regenerate. Niacin improves blood flow. Ginkgo biloba improves blood flow. That would cover that.
What about lion's mane and all that stuff they say with the fellas?
I could see cordyceps mixed with mixed with niacin, helping with blood flow down in the nether regions.
This could be another drink. I'm thinking. I've been doing drink like little mixology to help him with his like drink menu.
For the also horny goatweed is actually the name of an herb. I figured Angela would like that one.
I like it.
That
I want that as a poster.
Also has been proven to raise testosterone 100 points.
It better.
So that's your performance enhancing herb. That's not like steroid level, but that's in the realm.
How do you take horny goat weed?
It's a powder or an herb. You could take it like you ate that basil a little bit ago, or get it in powdered form. And then there's another one, Pyraceam. I'm pronouncing it wrong, but it's like Pryceam maybe. And that also would help with the testosterone. Oh, and Tribulus. Tribulus would be another one to boost testosterone. And then cold plunges would also
Really?
can help
I
a
didn't
little
know
bit.
that. I've been swimming
You can't
every day.
overdo it.
It's amazing.
You can't overdo it. And then women of childbearing age have to be careful with the cold plunge too. It can be too taxing on the nervous system to do every day.
I'm just swimming, cold or
Yeah.
not. Not like
Yeah. If you're getting super cold, like 30.
Whew, no.
What's that, Michael?
What did you say, Michael?
Oh, did you notice any weight loss blessings from doing the cold plunges?
Cold plunges definitely can make you lose weight because you have to burn a ton of calories to reheat your body. So the colder you get, the more calories you burn. But one misnomer I think on weight loss is that weight loss is not all about calories. Weight loss is also fluid retention. So if you've had a high inflammation state and then your lymphatic system is a little bit plugged up,
which most people are.
And the other thing too is if your adipose tissue or your fat tissue was created when you were in a high toxic environment, the body will not burn that fat if your liver and your detox pathways are overburdened or don't have space to handle the toxins. So this is why like you can see a skinny
Wow.
person with like real skinny arms, really skinny legs, no muscle, but still have a belly, and they keep eating less and less and less, but no matter what they do, they hold that belly because there's toxins in that tissue and the body will not burn it unless it's sure that it can handle the toxic load from burning that fat.
So how do
Wow.
you? I've been doing the uh, um, olive oil, lemon juice, cayenne
In the
pepper thing
morning?
in the morning
Oh,
on
nice.
an
Good for
empty
you.
stomach.
Mhm.
Look what I got.
Hmm.
What's your
Lemon.
goal for that, for the olive
Um,
oil?
does that help?
Help what?
Well, to a fatty liver, and also like I'm hoping, get flush the liver out.
Yeah. Um, Well, first thing that pops in my mind is make sure that you have a single source olive oil because the majority of olive oils are pretty rancid. So you're not really getting a benefit if you're buying like $3 plastic bottle olive oil, even though it's labeled olive oil. And then a lot of
What's the
olive
one
oil,
you use again? It's
Durant. It's a
Durant.
it's a place in Oregon. Um, and then other thing is some people are allergic to nightshades, so you have to be careful if you're allergic to nightshades to not eat cayenne.
Oh,
I have heard of that as a detox thing. Um, to not to push regenerate again, but in
no, you have
regenerate there's
to.
a
This
there's a
is the best.
concoction of
This stuff is the
liver
best.
aids. NAC would be huge to help detox the liver. NAC, acetyl-L-cysteine. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong because I've only read it. Milk thistle is also in there. High dose of milk thistle proven to regenerate the liver. And another thing that one needs to look into, especially for midsection weight, there's a lymphatic drainage technique called a liver pump, and that can, your liver drains through your right collarbone. So if you have any muscular tightness, and this is important for musicians like yourself, a lot of people are holding that banjo, that guitar. They're used to being on a tight stage where they have to hold their instrument a certain way. So they end up with a tight collarbone. And if your right collarbone is tight, that's where your liver detoxes through. So you could be taking a ton of liver detox stuff, but if your drain is clogged, it's not going anywhere. So a lot of massaging of the collarbones, both sides, because the liver goes through the right collarbone, the right arm goes through the right
Ow.
collarbone.
So
The
it's like
rest of the body goes through the left collarbone,
so like
above and
here,
below the collarbone. Yeah, above and below the collarbone. Because
so above and below.
the main
Ah, it's
drain
like
goes
tender.
behind. That's a sign that you need to work that area
Jesus.
if it's tender.
Put
Yeah,
out
so
an ad.
When
the
it
drain goes
drain
behind
too.
the collarbone. That's why you have to do above and below. What's that, Michael? Say again.
Oh, so once it goes through the collarbone, where else does it go?
There,
Oh, once it goes through the collarbone,
ev-
where else does it go?
eventually it ends up in the stomach. This is why when you're doing lymphatic drainage techniques, you can get nauseous because that's
I
the
like.
the the termination of the drain.
I'm like,
Um,
ow! I
there's
faint.
the thymus is in that area. You're testing my memory now. There's another lymph node that's near the sternum that that you could work through there. But generally, the main blocks in most people are the collarbone area. The biggest lymph nodes in the body are below the ear, kind of where the jaw gets closest to the ear. So
Oh
if you have
yeah,
any
okay.
tenderness there, those need to be cleared, but you don't touch those until you work the collarbones. So first both collarbones, then behind the ear. Um, there's something called the Big Six. It's by Perry Nicholson. That's the
Love that guy.
collarbones below the terminate the jaw ear area, then both shoulders, doing this on both shoulders, then both groins, both back of knees, and then you do the stomach. And you do the stomach counterclockwise and clockwise. Make sure you do it both ways.
And you're
Another
doing this
thing
to
for
yourself.
obviously a practitioner doing it to you when you're in total relaxation, breathing fully in and out, because then you're not using any of your muscles to
Mm.
work on yourself is best. But if you're fully breathing in, fully breathing out, and you're working on yourself, you're in a parasympathetic dominant state. So you're oxygenated, fully in, fully out. You can definitely make an impact on your own body.
I have been
And the
breathing so much differently and noticing, like we said earlier, that you notice in the day, you're like, oh my God, I wasn't breathing. Like it's a
right,
constant practice to just be
right.
breathing
And that was
for yourself.
why I've suggested to a lot of people to do Bikram yoga, because Bikram yoga is a hack to force yourself to never stop breathing.
Why? Because it's
So if you're
so
doing
hot in there?
because it's so hot in there. You have to pre-breathe. You have to keep your breathing fully in, fully out, fully in, fully out, even when it's unnecessary for the movements in the beginning. Because if you get behind on your breath at the end of the class, you'll feel it. Because when
You know
you're in
what
that
taught me?
hot of a room for an hour and a half,
You know what
what's
got
that?
me getting tattooed?
Yeah, I'm sure. Because if you're
Like
tense, if
that was
everything is
just
tensed up while you're getting it, where if you just breathe through the
it was
pain,
all the way breathing in and all the way breathing
yeah,
out. And that's all I did was breathe in and breathe out. And he was like,
yeah,
holy shit, that meant he's like, I've never had a man sit that long.
yeah, yeah, no, that would
I got it
definitely
right
help
here.
because you're essentially accepting the pain and you're like, this pain isn't going to kill me. I'm
I
choosing to do this. I'm in a safe place and I'm going to
yeah.
relax because
I
when you tense up, you'll feel more pain.
and then after it was done, I believe that was the very first time I have relaxed that much in my life.
That's great.
Once it was done, it was like this. I was like, oh my God. And he goes, yeah, usually when you have a tattoo like that, you're a different person afterwards. And I
Hmm.
was like, I really feel it. I feel that. I feel that. I was like,
Try it without getting tattooed with a focus on breathing downward as much as you can. Also, Michael, fully breathing in, fully breathing out is the pump that moves lymphatic fluid. So if you have restricted breathing or you always retent to your breath and you're trying to detox your liver, you work on those drains and you work on breathing fully in and fully out because that pulling of the air all the way in and all the way out is the mechanism that squeezes the liver to squeeze the lymphatic fluid, the waste, out of the liver.
and castor oil. And Joe says, hey guys, hey Joe,
Hey, Joe. What's up,
hey
man?
Joe.
Thanks for
But
joining, Joe. Joe's great. I see more of Joe
Do
when
you guys
Coaster's around.
do you guys do anything with um, uh, do you guys do anything with coffee enemas?
I've never done it. I've heard about it. I'm off of caffeine for a long time.
and
So
I know a lot of women who are doing that.
I bet that would do something. Um,
My mom
I've,
did it back in the
yeah,
day.
I bet that would do something. You could also get colonics done where there's a bunch of those in Nashville where they like power clean your inside.
I've had that done. And then when you see what comes out in the tube, you will
Yeah.
believe in parasites.
Yeah. Well, then, if you're worried about parasites, the word that may not be said on the internet's apple
Don't say it.
flavored, or just look up Nobel Prize winning medicines. It's on the list.
Oh yeah, Gene,
Nobel
there's
Prize.
parasites in your butt. I hate to tell you. Especially if you got
Yeah.
a big belly and you're bloated, you have parasites in you. I'm sorry.
I mean, but the
Yeah,
more
like sacks, like eggs.
the more things that live inside of you in harmony in you, the more light that you have in you. It's not
Oh,
about like people get on this thing where it's like I want to get clean. I'm going to get clean. I'm going to make everything clean and perfect. No, it's not
right.
about getting clean and perfect. It's about being in harmony. Some people that are in spectacular health, tribal people, they test them for everything, and they come back with everything.
They have
But they're
everything.
but they're pillars of health. They're
That's
ripped,
funny. Yeah.
strong, and they're pillars of health. It's about being in harmony. It's not about
Yep. Gene.
being clean, being so clean. I'm all the way cleaned out. I'm
Brendan
perfect.
says if you do a coffee enema, you might not be clean. Your body might not release it. It can
I
make you
just
sick.
wouldn't want to put coffee up my bunghole because I would be afraid I might be like up for 4 days or something, from
Yeah.
the caffeine. I don't know.
No,
Um,
I've actually
but
they say your does a jump.
That
the what?
what?
That your liver does a punch release. I've actually felt it do that. Like if you lay on your right side and do it, actually, it's
Did you lay on your right side when you did that
just kind of
coffee
actually.
enema?
The thought behind
Yes,
the
I did. Yes, and if after you
the
would
thought
feel your system do like a.
the thought behind the coffee enema is that it is a vasoconstrictor, so it makes everything squeeze to dump everything out.
Well,
That's
hey, Gene, to kill parasites, we can tell you what it is, but not on here. Ask me privately later. You can release many gallstones, though. Oh, with you can't tell nobody nothing. This ain't no nothing.
What's up, Sweetman? Thanks for joining. I've been meaning to call you. I've been wanting to talk to you about some stuff. I'm gonna call you.
Jalapenos might help. Sometimes I eat a ton of them.
I don't
You
know if
just
that is gonna be a help or not, but
that's funny.
certainly spicy. Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
I
we
have
gotta
had just
reconnect.
um. So, do you need a coffee enema right now, Michael? What's up with you? What's happening? Where are you at in your life?
Well, you're talking
No,
about detoxing liver.
Health wise, yeah, you're looking for liver
yes.
health. Got you.
Yeah. Milk thistle knack. That would be a great thing to take every day for liver health. It's been totally
Regenerate.
proven top to bottom to help clean out livers. And those ingredients are in Regenerate. You can buy them separately. Yeah. What
I've
is
actually noticed that Regenerate is cheaper than buying
Yeah,
all this stuff. Like way cheaper than buying all this stuff.
it is actually. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's expensive, but so sometimes results will happen. Oh, some kind of results are going to happen with those jalapenos. Joe says, yeah.
Yeah, you eat enough capsicum, you will have
I
a result.
Well, I just put cayenne into this drink, and it's like this is my Regenerate drink for the evening. And of course, I can't not drink it because it's got Regenerate in it, so I can't waste it. I'm like,
I still
woo!
haven't done your method of Regenerate where you put like 3, 4 doses in a big
Oh yeah,
thermos and then just
in one of these,
burn
yeah,
all day. I gotta do that because that is a great idea,
it's the
and
greatest.
I can totally see why that would work awesome. It would
Yeah,
just, I would imagine that'd be great for writing or for doing something that
Zooms all day
you have
long.
to kind of force yourself to do. I could see that be great for that.
Well, that's how I
Yeah.
don't have a beer. Otherwise, I would
Yeah,
have a
it
beer.
would be like carrying a buzz all day, kind of.
Kind of, yeah, a
Hmm.
little bit like this because I like
With
that.
like mental clarity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I just
Hmm.
and Gene, who like the chips and stuff, I did actually do pumpkin seeds. Those are
Hmm.
really good when you just want to not nosh because it's
Bar-
like I think Gene might be doing what my mom does. So you're like, well, it was healthy. I had the gluten-free chips, but now I have an itch.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like, oh,
because it's
let's
not
just
the
munch on
gluten,
other things.
it's the glyphosate. Pumpkin seeds, I forget what Barbara O'Neill says about pumpkin seeds, but she's a big proponent of
Yeah,
pumpkin
that's
seeds.
why I bought them because when
It's
she
some
got banned,
mineral. I forget what's the mineral that pump is there's
I
some
forget.
mineral that pumpkin seeds are really high in.
Her husband got on and said that she'd been banned and shut down everywhere, and he gave like her main things that she would always say.
Yeah.
And so I got all of them,
Yeah. Yeah. Um
like pumpkin seeds.
Yeah.
This is pumpkin seeds, black seed oil, like the black seed oil, and that's. I hope you have this in traveling with it, Michael,
Yeah.
for
Michael,
singing and all that.
did you ever get the black seed oil? Did you try that for vocals?
I did, yes. Made a big difference. Besides losing the heartburn and then getting the black seed oil, I found it to be very resourceful when I needed to sing and there was like rasp or
Hmm.
there was, kind of like just the voice wasn't warmed up and like getting into its place. So black
Yeah.
seed oil, like just taking a little bit, like a capful, and then chasing it with a little bit of water, made a
Hmm.
big difference.
Hmm. Yeah, and then I don't know if you remember or not, but when we were doing
It
that
was better.
Oliver,
uh,
better than what? What'd you say?
Oh, better than like lemon or ginger drinks or tea drinks and stuff like that. That honey drinks and stuff that
Hmm.
Right.
worked way better.
It's
Yeah.
the taste.
And
People are like, "Whoa!"
it does taste like motor oil, but I actually like it now. But when we were
I'm,
doing that Oliver Anthony reaction video, I was like not feeling great, and I had like a really raspy like something in my throat, and I don't know if you remember, I was like taking little sips of black seed oil for our whole conversation. I had it off to my left because it works awesome for that. It's
Yep.
phenomenal. Um, and
I'm gonna buy another bottle right now.
It was in King Tut's tomb. It's fantastic stuff. And it and olive oil and coconut oil, I believe, are the only three oils that one should eat that are not from animals. They're the best fats that aren't
Oh,
from
that
animals.
the good stuff that are not, because otherwise the
Right.
oils of like grape seed oil and all that stuff, like,
Yeah.
don't do that. Of
Right.
course, do what you
Right.
want. Do
Right.
what you want.
This is performance enhancing talk. Trying to improve vocals here.
Do what you
Yeah.
want, Ian
Yeah.
Carroll.
He's doing a
That's it.
lot. Oh, I don't want to lose anybody, but I saw that he was doing a live tonight. I want to tune into that later.
Oh, he's
He's
awesome.
he's on it.
He is on it. He's also making some cash money, that man.
Is he?
He's yeah, because you see where he's just smart with how he's doing his affiliates, and then how when to go on his lives it actually costs money to like start
Oh,
talking with him and stuff. Yeah, I'm like,
I didn't.
oh, that's smart
Oh,
boy.
to talk to him, you have to pay him money.
No, it
Oh,
looks
that's
like a.
interesting. I didn't know that.
What about oregano oil or
Oregano
basil?
oil, both fantastic. Basil cleans the blood. Oregano oil, when put against um, things that would kill microbes or fungus, has been shown in some studies to be more of a performance enhancer than those items. Now, oregano oil you
Wow.
cannot take long term, though.
Well, are you talking about
It is
oregano
so.
oil like essential oils, like the little oregano oil bottle? Is that what you're talking about?
Oregano
Like,
oil, there's oregano oil where it's in an oil solution.
okay,
Um, and I forget what the active ingredient is now, but
oregano.
no, but well they've isolated what the compound is in oregano that actually does it. So the ones that state like standardized for 20% of whatever that compound is.
Michael needs a
The the
coffee
only
enema.
reason the only reason why essential oils, some of those aren't designed to be used internally or externally. They're designed for scent. So
Right.
if you're smelling a scent of, I'm just saying you could have heavy metals or something that you wouldn't want to put on your skin or in your body in the essential oil version. Get the topical slash internal use oregano oil, not
What
the
about
essential
castor
oil.
oil? What about putting castor oil on your body and your belly button and all that?
That's one of those things where whenever I do it, I feel better, and then I just don't like to feel goopy, so I never do it. But yeah, it's been proven to break up adhesions, and when I use it, I do feel something from it.
Wow. You just don't like the
That
feel?
that would be great for talking about detoxing liver or getting leaner. Put it on the belly button area. Castor oil.
Belly button.
Yeah.
Where is, when you're like looking at your body, like left side, right side, where is the liver? Where it's
It's
like
on the right side.
big.
It's
Okay,
on the
right
right
side.
side. It's underneath the ribs and below the ribs. So
So underneath and
find your ribs on the right and then start
yeah.
pushing underneath the ribs, and that's the liver. Like push underneath the ribs and up under the ribs.
Okay.
That's the liver.
Liver.
And if you look up Perry Nicholson liver pump, that is better done by someone else. But
Right.
you can there is a technique to pump the liver
Massage trading.
to
I feel sick
detox
now.
that quick just from touching your liver a couple
I'm just,
times.
I'm just like,
Okay,
ugh.
that's not a good sign.
I'm like, ugh. Ugh.
Yeah.
I need
So
to
yeah,
sleep.
Michael, because you were asking about that earlier, look up Perry Nicholson liver pump. You know, you
He
might be
looks
able.
tired. What's it? You look sleepy, Michael. Are you
I'm
not
with you.
sleeping?
I'm starting to run out of
Sleepy
I
steam.
time.
Yeah.
I'm
no, my
sleepy.
eyes just got something in it.
Blink. Yeah.
What's going on with your hair? Let me see your hair. I can't see your hair.
With my
Yeah. I love it. I have people that I need you to meet that I want you to meet, and I would like the and will probably be in. I think they are coming to Nashville, and I just side note. I think there's some really fun things we can do in this world all together.
How's the music going, Michael? You got any new songs out? What are you doing?
I've just uploaded my new album called "I Can See the Sun." I've actually was before we came online here. I actually hit the enter button and sent it through DistroKid, so it's uh, up for pre-saving.
Oh,
So
sweet!
it'll be up in the next number. So that's happened, and then I've been out on tour with The War and Treaty. So there's a husband and wife duo in country music that are rising pretty fast. Matter of fact, on the 10th, they opened for the Rolling Stones. Um, so I wasn't at that particular show, but
Why not?
we been out on the road. Oh, they've basically got different band configurations. So right now they have a smaller band configuration that they're out on the road with, and then what'll happen is a couple of weeks go by and then they'll call us back out and bring the larger band out there. So I'm part of the larger band. Um, so yeah, they're just kind of using a different band configuration for this number of shows. They're still breaking into their headlining status, so they're playing some smaller things as they still open for a few other groups like Ian Munsick. Ian Munsick has the title track for the new Cody Johnson album, and Ian Munsick typically opens or tours with Cody Johnson. We've also been out with Zach Bryan and also Chris Stapleton.
Wow.
Yeah, we played Crypto Arena to 20,000 people for 2 nights in a row. Then we played Red Rocks to 10,000 people, and then we played
Fun.
Nissan Stadium to 70,000 people. Uh,
Was that
that
with Zach or
aired
Chris?
last Tuesday on.
On what?
That was actually we were ahead of Keith Urban that night for CMA Fest, so we were on ahead of him
And that
for
was
CMA
you,
Fest.
or
CMA
that,
Fest
or
played on ABC
was that you or
with
Zach
them
or
as an
Chris?
artist. Yeah, I was.
You what?
Oh no, so I'm actually performing as a banjo player and collaborator with them in their band. Um,
That's fun.
so because I'm an artist myself, they've been really gracious to kind of give me my own side of the stage, and like they're this kind of like we have Michael the artist on banjo with us is kind of what they're doing.
That's
That's cool.
great, man.
So
That's really cool.
That's great. And then the new album coming out and playing with Zach Bryan and Chris Stapleton. That's really cool, man. That's epic.
So what else do you want to be doing, Michael? What's your big dream?
thank you. Oh, we're gonna tour worldwide eventually. I don't know what
Fun.
mechanisms will materialize it. You know, I'm doing some really big banjo stylings. Since the last time you guys may have heard me, I've really done some really interesting instrumental interpretations that are really, really cool now that I've really developed. And it's really, I got my banjo fine tuned. And so I'm just getting like so much tone and you know, I always rate instruments by their ability to sing, you know, and they just kind of, and right now the way I've got my banjo playing, it's really great. So it's really, I'm really getting a lot of sound and tone, and you know, what I do with banjo, nobody's ever heard before. So it's down the street from. It's so much more than that.
Do any banjo people? I mean, you know how guitarists have like the whole rig where they have all the, you know, the different. Oh, the word just escaped me. But they have the whole rig where they'll push this button for the solo, this one to get some reverb, this one is a tube amp overlay. You know, you have the whole rig where you can push. Do you have a rig for the banjo?
I do. I have several pedals that I use. I also have an LR Bags preamp, which boosts the tone. Like most banjos on bluegrass, you see just a microphone, a little pencil mic that's probably about the size of your finger, just pointed at the front of the banjo. Some people have one that's attached to the banjo so they can move around, or some of them have a cable plugged in, and they just run it straight into the, you know, from the banjo to the speakers, you know, to the system, and you just get a very basic something, but it doesn't really translate. Like if you don't have some boosting elements, as soon as you play with a full band, you just get blown the heck out because banjo's so organic. So I've been able to capture the organic tone and keep the integrity of that, but make it sound big, like almost like an electric guitar.
Cool.
But still keeping it very country, keeping it very bluegrass.
Just because I know that's huge in guitars, having a whole rig, but so you're saying most banjoers don't have a rig? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's the banjo's stuck in the 30s, you know, in that era, and that's most people. They say, oh, it's so hard. I'm like, no, it's not hard. You just have to know how to translate it into today's terms. Some of the people that are, like the banjo player that plays for Billy Strings, banjo player that plays for Mumford and Sons, they have brought some of that element forward, but I've taken it way past where they've taken it.
That's great.
And it's
so cool.
It's been fun experimenting and creating that to get it to translate in a stadium or to translate in a in a loud bar, to get it to translate. It's been, I've had to change so many different types of strings and different types of microphones on the inside and different things that would feed back horribly. And I've had to do all these kind of things. I finally got something that really works, because I have a pedal board similar to what you see with a guitar player, but mine's far simpler. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, to really make banjo function like you would consider it as a mainstream instrument, like the way people see a guitar or keyboard or bass or even drums. The banjo's always been like a secondary, put that off to the side or put that in the back of the mix of the recording, or it's like put it strictly in bluegrass because really put it in a more expansive place, which is one of the reasons why Keith Urban, like, he'll come out and it looks like a banjo, but it's really a guitar with a banjo body, and he's playing it with a
Mm.
pick, and tries to replicate the banjo element, which it doesn't really. It people are like, woo, I'm like, no, it's not a banjo. I see what you're
D-
trying to do there.
does the banjo have pickups in it like a guitar?
You can. There's some that have some pickups. There's bridge pickups where it's like a magnetic wire that the bridge sits upon, or there's like a kind of rectangular oval shaped style that also um, you might see similar that look like similar to a Les Paul or something like that. And then
Humbuck.
also you can just put regular microphones in them.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So you don't use, but yours doesn't have pickups then.
It has a pickup. It has a
But okay.
like a transducer pickup in it, which
Okay.
is the one that lays under the bridge.
Gotcha. That's really cool, man. To have a board to get different tones out of it because, um, yeah, just thinking of banjo that I've heard, I haven't heard much of that. I gotta check out what you're doing with that.
I
I
like
bet
it a
that sounds
lot.
really cool. I bet you could get way out there too with the sounds where it wouldn't even sound like a banjo with
Yeah,
enough.
like that's you can run it through different processors and stuff. With if the tone is strong enough, um, you can play through a wah pedal. You can play through a flange. You can play through maybe even some distortion, um, and you can still get the banjo, like the organic
Hmm.
rhythmic banjo texture, and it will still come through that other tone. So it still sounds like a banjo. Like I've seen some guys playing like an all electric banjo, which is just a flat circle board, like piece of wood with the 5 strings, and it just sounds like really stringy, twangy electric guitar. Like there's no banjo tone at all. It's
Hmm.
just stringy, almost like pedal steel, but just sounding very picky
Sounds
because it's
like a
being
dobro.
picked. Well, it doesn't even sound hardly. I mean, it's really stringy, twingy type sound. It doesn't really. It's almost. It's hard to hear. For me, it is. It's hard to hear because it doesn't. No, that mountain echo that you hear on a banjo that makes it sound like you're on top of a mountain playing, like that's all gone. It's just kind of stringy twang sound. It's not even really. If you heard it and somebody says, "What's that?" you wouldn't know what it was. You'd just be like, "Oh, that's some kind of stringy guitar sounding thing." You wouldn't even know it was a banjo unless you saw it.
Gotcha. Sounds unpleasant.
So
Yeah, that's really cool.
yeah, it's
Um,
it's 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 tolerable. We'll put it in there, but yeah,
Well, I want to
yeah.
do it again, and we actually playing some banjo when we do it again. Next week, I will be at a festival. So
Mm.
maybe I don't know what we're going to do, but I would love to actually do some jam sessions.
Mm. Yeah.
Are you up
Yeah,
for
that'd be,
that? And then be there in person too. That's what I'm like
I,
have some fun
I've
jam sessions.
I've got a full tube amp you can plug into.
Awesome. And then we need to start going or
that
not
would be very.
we get to start going live on TikTok again.
Yeah, I'm gonna hook that
Gotta
up.
do it.
It's just been a pain to get it to go through this system. I can go live, but it's got to be on the phone. So I
You
really want
gotta
to
go on
get
your
it on
phone.
this. So yeah, I've been amazed still on all my old videos. I'm still getting comments and
Yeah.
activity every day, and I never check it. But Yeah,
You got to do the ticker
I gotta
talker.
get on the talk
You
tick
got the
again.
TikTokers.
Yeah.
I know.
Do you have any other comments?
No, we're tired. We're all sleeping.
Feel
now.
goopy. We got the who
Feel
is that
goopy?
said feel
That was
goopy?
Gene. It's because you
Gene,
said you felt goopy
I'm
with
talking about
castor oil.
the castor oil. It eventually absorbs, but it takes a bit of time, and you just feel like sticky when it's
Goopy.
on you.
I feel goopy. Well, I feel
Sticky is
sleepy.
yeah, no, that's where I'm at too.
And I've been getting I mean, I love this getting up early. I love exercising. I've started doing yoga. Oh my God. Stop judging. I'm getting there.
Nobody's judging us.
I judge myself.
Oh, okay. Well, get into curiosity.
Yeah, I'm curious what I can do to move my body.
Yeah.
I've been able to do more things in water.
Yeah, you were
That's
telling me
been
that
very helpful
because you're
to do it
lighter
in.
weight. Yeah, that
And also I've
sounds
got,
like a great thing to do.
the ailments and whatever. I'm like, ooh, I can get around a lot of stuff in the water.
Yeah.
So that's been I've got water Jesus yoga.
What else do you need?
I know exactly. All right, Mike. Good to see you, Michael. You look sleepy too.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm on the way out, but the only thing we haven't done is headlines. Should we do headlines?
Do it.
And
Please
wrap it
do
up?
it as Trump's voice, please, to entertain us all.
All right. All right, let's see what headlines we've got here. Oh, we got another comment.
Michael's frozen. I love it. He does Trump and Guadalupe so well. It's hard to miss.
One of the best there's ever been or ever will be. Okay, so headlines. Not gonna read that one. That one has too many hot words on that.
Oh God!
Too many hot words. Okay, so from Matt Taibbi, who's one of the independent journalists that I follow, says Hillary Clinton is the leading Democrat against Hillary. Once again, wants to face the Trump. So we'll see what happens there. That looks like it's happening. More headlines I can't say.
Why? Why can't you say it? Because of words?
Because there's words on here that aren't suitable
approved?
for YouTube.
Oh my God. Unbelievable.
This is a quote from what is it from Clooney. I've seen Joe Biden up close. No one can deny his decline. What? Oh, Michael Rick signed off. Bye, Michael.
He was frozen.
He might have fallen asleep.
You started reading the headlines. He's like, I'm out of here.
Yeah, I don't blame him. There's too many hot words on this. You don't need that. We don't need that. He doesn't need that. He's playing for Chris Stapleton and Zach Bryan. Oh, he's back. I think. Oh, he is back. Hey, Michael, we're still reading the headlines. So
you can't miss the headlines before bed.
Anything you want to comment on the headlines, go for it. I throw it out there. Wall Street Journal says, if Joe steps down, the Democrats could win the election.
Well,
poor Akami, we were just talking for 2 hours about all kinds of things, and now we're coming to a close. He's just reading the headlines.
And now
as
we're
Trump.
gonna get canned. I have to
That's
skip some
funny.
of these headlines so we don't get kicked off.
Oh God, that is so messed up.
So this is. Say again.
I said, good luck to the man who falls up the stairs.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's hard to fall up the stairs, but he accomplished it. Apparently, I don't know. This isn't in this headline, but I did read the headline. Apparently, what it is he has Parkinson's.
Oh, wow.
That's what. Yeah.
I believe nothing.
So Jordan B. Peterson tweets out.
Dementia.
Yeah, no, late onset Parkinson's, you're just like have a drool cup and you're shaking around, which, yeah. Um, I'm not going to read that one because that has hot words too. Um,
You can't say nothing. You gotta
yeah.
behave.
Oh, I don't even know what I haven't read this yet, but it's a tweet from only the greatest president there ever has been and ever will be. Not my thoughts. That's what his thoughts would be. Definitely not my thoughts. Um, I know nothing about Project 2025. I've not seen it. I have no idea who's in charge of it. And unlike our very well received Republican platform, had nothing to do with it. The radical left Democrats are having a field day, however, trying to hook me into whatever policies are stated or said. It's pure disinformation on their part. By now, after all these years, everyone knows where I stand on everything DJT.
Yeah, that whole Project 25 bullshit. Interpretations of policies that
We can't talk about
public.
nothing on here.
So they're
No,
they're
we
all
could probably.
I don't even
saying
know what
that
2025 is.
yes,
They're
we're
saying
not
what,
even in
Michael?
2025 yet, but they've
Yeah.
already sewn it up, and so they're like, yeah, this is 25, and I was reading it. I was like, guys, this is like absolutely preposterous. Some of the stuff they're saying that it's supposed to do. I keep telling people, one day we're going to have to, as a country, we're going to have to dump all these affiliations that's either right or whatever it is. We're going to have to figure out how to, if people are going to serve in some kind of representative capacity for whatever groups that they represent, they're going to have to get rid of foreign money, special interest money, pharma, and big tech. But people are like,
and
oh,
and and end the.
I'll go ahead, brother.
You
Go ahead.
talking crazy?
Oh, I was
You
saying
talking
and the
crazy?
Fed, but the thing that you touched on that I think is so important is this blue red team is ridiculous. There's really two teams, and that's nationalists and globalists. And there's globalists on both blue and red teams, and the majority of the people are globalists on both the red and blue teams. People need to understand that it's globalists versus nationalists, and we only have a handful of nationalists because that's how captured all of Congress is by the
Yeah, no
globalists.
shit. Yep.
And that is the real divide. They need to have a globalist party and a nationalist party. And, I think some people in Europe are waking up to that. But, we're kind of quite poisoned here. So it takes a little bit longer for that to get over to this side of the pond. And, you know, the people that think that it's possible for global governance, they're not thinking this through. And here's why. Because the further you are away from who you're governing, it's just human nature. You're going to care less about them. So, like, in a hierarchy of caring, I care more about my neighbors than I do the people that live in California.
Yes.
So why
And you
would
can
we
show
give governance to people? Right, and
Mhm.
I can actually influence something in Nashville. I can't influence anything in California. So why would we give a group of Swiss globalists power over all of the nations all over the country? They live in Switzerland. Why do they care what happens in Tennessee or California? They're even further away. So that's why it's the parties. And now, of course, I would say that there shouldn't be a globalist party because it's absolutely absurd that
Ludicrous,
somebody on
yeah.
the other side of the globe could govern somebody on this side of the globe. It's absolutely absurd that somebody who's Swiss could think that they could understand the culture of Vietnam or America or Britain or Chile or Panama. Where the point is, wherever, it is ridiculous that somebody that far away would even have a hope to understand the culture on the other side of the world. But because they have all the power, the new delineation should be globalist and nationalist party. And then the other thing too is they try to keep everything into two-party systems so that you only have two choices. That's another divide. But the other thing too, just to put a bow on it, that I think should
Put a
happen
bow on it. Put a bow.
is I think that politicians should be like NASCAR drivers.
Yeah.
Everybody who gives them money, they need to wear a patch on their suit.
Yeah. That's really
So when they
funny.
walk in, it'll just say like, John Deere, Pfizer, or
Yeah.
Halliburton. They should be like Post Malone. They should just have their faces tattooed with who gives them anything over.
It's funny.
If they give you more than $1 million, you get a face tattoo. You have to have it, or so, or whatever.
That's really funny.
Or we have technology, have a ticker. Just have them all wear a ticker of who's
Of
like
where they're
giving
coming
them
from?
money as
Yeah.
they're speaking. Like as new people are giving them money, you just see like, Walmart pop up. Like when you're watching YouTube or whatever, and people get donations or people
Yeah.
put money out there, $1,000, Halliburton. It just should be a constant ticker. I mean, NASCAR does it. Why can't it? Should be on the politicians. But anyway, next headline. More about 2025.
I gotta look this up. I don't know anything about
Trump has disavowed 2 times through the media recently. And so think of a random noun. Google is blank noun racist post results. Okay, let's see what happens here. So the first search is jazz racist? Google comes back with, the music called jazz is a reminder of an oppressive and racist society and restrictions on their artistic visions. Let's see what the next verb is. Are dogs racist? Let's see here. What does Google say? In some cases, dogs may develop prejudices based on their socialization and exposure to different races or ethnicities. For example, a dog may be more aggressive towards people of a certain race or ethnicity if it has been trained or socialized to do so. Okay. Is water racist? Surely that won't work. Let's see.
It's the most absolutely racist. Water.
Water and environmental racism lesson helps young people grapple with how racism shows up in our everyday lives. In America, racism is even found in the drinking water. That's the 5th result on Google. Racism, there's something in the water. We need to consider the waters we swim in. Maybe it's not toxic for me, but it's toxic to my neighbor.
Oh my God!
That's
What do
hilarious.
they not find
That's really
to
funny.
make into something with racism? Jesus.
Right.
Nothing.
Is civilization
Jesus is
racist?
racist.
Let's see.
Well,
God.
Apparently, yes. Apparently, civilization is racist. Okay. Are lamps racist? Certainly, lamps can't be racist, right? Let's Google it.
Google it.
Is home? It comes back with, is this home decor racist? There's a 5th result, the racist lady with the lamp. Gaudy, sure, but racist too, unpacking centuries of...
Oh
So
my
apparently
God.
lamps can also be racist somehow.
Oh my God.
Okay, this can't be racist, but the Google search term is bicycles racist? Let's see.
I bet you that we.
First result, Washington Post. American cycling has a racist problem.
Oh my God.
Second result, bicycles racist, sexist, and classist beginnings.
Yeah.
Fourth result, racism is often the first hurdle for black bicyclists. Apparently so.
I think you've said that word enough times that we're going to get in trouble.
You get canceled for that?
I don't even know, honestly. That's like, I got a booger. Am I
that's
gonna get
ridiculous.
canceled? I don't know. Okay. I love y'all.
There's
I gotta go to
there's
bed. I'm gonna go get my kid.
there's
In a minute.
more, but that's it. Yeah,
That is just so fun. I just like. First of all, the headlines are crazy. Everyone's lost their minds. And anyway,
yeah.
thank God for us and for Ian Carroll.
I'm not gonna read this one, but it's pretty funny. Trump tweeting about George Clooney.
Oh, that's funny because Jean said that she saw Biden and Trump were both telling Clooney to stay out of politics.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer just signed a bill into law which prohibits recounting votes based on allegations of election fraud.
Uh,
They're polling how Kamala Harris will do as Biden's replacement. They're
Oh
doing
God.
polls on it right now. Is there anything more? I don't know. Maybe it's just her laugh just like grinds my gears. I can't
Her
even hear.
laugh. That's racist, sexist.
Not liking someone's laugh. Let's Google it. Is not liking someone's laugh
You're
racist?
racist.
Uh-oh.
You're a laughist.
Yeah,
You know what
whatever.
gets me? You're a laughist.
Your laugh is this laugh racist? Google it. See what happens. Probably.
Racist.
Hey Michael, last week somebody came on the comments and was like racist against us. Remember that, Angela?
Yeah.
It was like a bunch of
But
comments.
they can't. You can't do that.
Yeah, it was
You know what's
great, a bunch of
racist?
white
It's
people.
milk.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. When are we gonna just realize that really it's good,
Oh my God.
and that's really all in the
Amen.
game. Every once in a while there is a racist thing or whatever, but God, I think we went through the civil rights movement, we went through the 2020s, 2021. I think we done kind of figured this out a little. I go to the mall, I go to the bank. If you still go to the mall, if you go to downtown, if you go to the grocery store, you walk in the bank, you go to church. Ain't nobody try to spray me with a water hose. Ain't nobody chase me with no dog. Ain't nobody try to put me in a tree with a you know what. Nobody,
Oh my God.
try to hurt me or say you're a black man, so we get you. Like Lord
Yeah.
Jesus, I'm like, where's this quote unquote stuff that y'all? I go in the bank and I see a white lady talking, a black lady, and an Asian lady, and an Indian lady from India, and a Native American lady, and they all having fun and laughing and hugging each other and being nice. I'm like, I don't
They
know where
see
y'all see
you.
this crazy foolish.
They see you and they're like,
Yeah.
Right.
I agree. It's you know what's funny that what's funny is some people based on the way I look think that I'm like a hardcore liberal,
Oh yeah, that's funny. They do.
which is so funny to me. Anyway, but so it's like I'll get like I'm not saying it's racism. It's not racism, but I get judgments put on me, which racism is a judgment. But and it's just so funny, like dealing
Is
with
that
people that
long
are
hair?
taking me the wrong way, and then they're like,
They
"Wait a
might
minute."
Wait a minute. You have guns?
They hear they like gun
Say that.
shoot a deer type.
Say that again.
Guy.
Shoot a deer type
Oh,
guy.
they
That's how I.
like you might be like considered like the dude that shoots a deer, or like you're like super redneck or something too. They might
Yeah,
think
I've
that,
had
or
that.
like you ride a Harley or something.
I've had that too. I've had that judgment come before too, and that's pretty funny. It's yeah. There's only a couple more headlines. I'm tired. We're all tired. But so Biden's doing his big boy press conference apparently tonight. We're missing it.
We're
We should have
missing it?
brought that. We should have
Damn
watched that.
it.
It's probably over now. So Biden
It was
calls
over at 8 when he goes to bed.
Kamala Harris Vice President Trump during highly anticipated big boy conference.
My goodness, it just doesn't get any more
That's
crazy.
funny. That's
He calls
funny,
the dude
actually.
Putin.
So
Calls
funny.
Trump.
That's really funny.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
my thought is with all the conservative radio commentators. By the way, if you think you want to do something good in the world, you don't have to call yourself by a name to do it. Oh, I'm a conservative. Oh, I'm a liberal. Oh, I'm a libertarian. I'm a whatever stupid
Yeah.
thing. Just be a
Right?
human. That's all you gotta
Yeah.
do. And just do the next
Humans are
best thing.
monsters.
This is true.
So
But
They're labeled as
yeah,
monsters.
so this is interesting. This is from Riley Gaines, who's of course that I think she's that swimmer, right? That swimmer that got beat by that dude a few times, Riley Gaines.
Oh my God.
Every House Democrat just voted to keep men and women's sports, put men in women's bathrooms and locker rooms, house men in women's dorms, control your speech and demand the language by which you call these men. Every single Democrat. It was 205 nay. It passed because there was 210 Republicans, but
Wait,
that's
every single Democrat voted what?
voted to put men in women's sports bathrooms, house men in women's dorms, control your speech and demand the language by which you call these men. 205 of them voted
So
to
wait,
keep
what's the layman term? They're to allow trans women in sports.
right, and locker rooms and dorms and all of that. All 205 of them. They didn't win because 200 there's 210 Republicans in the House. So Jeffrey Epstein's main patron, Leslie Wexner, who owns Victoria's Secret, that's a sidebar from this tweet, told New York Magazine in the 1980s that he is demonically possessed. Okay.
who is the
Leslie Wexner, known as Lex Wexner by some, who owns Victoria's Secret, the Limited,
Yeah.
bunch of
Oh my God.
clothing stores.
The guy who he lives in Ohio or something. Rich guy in Ohio.
New York too. He was buddies with Jeffy.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure. God, that list sure went quiet. Did anybody notice? There was all this big thing about the Epstein list and blah 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 blah. And now, have you heard anything about it?
Oh, about the Epstein's list?
Yeah, it's just like to do like we glossed over. We forgot about that.
Yeah,
Forgot
they're
about
like
that, huh?
have all this capability of tracking everybody through the geotags and their
It's all a
phones
lie.
and
Because
well, it's
it's like
because then they wouldn't be able to blackmail
everyone.
those people.
Exactly.
Elon Musk just tweeted out Elon just beyond parody what's going on with the big boy press conference.
Big boy. What does GAT mean?
S-
GYATT.
So the actual line that this is a tweet from Donald. Crooked Joe Biden begins his big boy press conference with, I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, though I think she was not qualified to be president. Great job. Great job, Joe.
What?
dude?
Oh
This dude.
my God.
I gotta,
That is like what?
what's going on?
I mean, oh God. Anywho, the world is weird. We're a laughing stock. Thank God you have meat and water. And each other.
man.
All right, y'all. I love you. I'm gonna go get my kid and go to bed.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all. And
That was fun.
Michael, appreciate you joining
We
me.
got over 100 messages on chat.
Well, it's good to
Who,
be with
me?
you guys tonight.
Mhm.
I appreciate you.
I have 100 messages on chat.
Yeah,
Where's that?
we've received over 100 messages today on chat.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's pretty fun. It was all Gene going, wow, wow, wow. Love you, Gene.
What did that one person say? Grat?
I have no idea. GYATT? It must be in,
Some
I
kind
don't
of
know.
code.
GI. I don't know.
Crazy.
All right, that was
Michael,
been
man,
fun.
come up for a bike ride sometime. I'm always riding bikes anytime you want to get out in the sun or anytime you want to take a
Fun.
bike out if you want to just cruise around the city. Let me know when you're in town.
Fun.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'll definitely call you because I definitely want to do that.
Yeah.
It's so good. I can't
And
wait.
come to the retreat
I'm
or
so
the
excited.
hangout.
It's a
Angela calls
hangout.
it a retreat. I call it a hangout.
It's a hang. We're gonna hang.
Yeah, we're just gonna
We're,
hang,
we're
get
not
hot,
hanging. We're biking. This will be like a
we're gonna get
workout.
hot. We're gonna get cold. You
Yeah.
know, the usual. Maybe a bee sting or two, purposeful bee sting.
Oh my god, I love
Yeah.
it. Yeah, he's got bees
Uh,
now and a cold plunge
yeah, I've got 5 beehives at the house now, a hot tub and a cold plunge.
and a forest.
Yeah, I know. He's coming Saturday to knock the forest down, and then I'm gonna get that tuned up. Yeah. All
Knock the
right,
Have
y'all.
forest
a
down. I thought you had an orchard. You're not knocking it
Oh no,
down.
no, no. The orchard's doing great. Yeah,
Okay, good, good, good.
I've got 14, 16
Yeah,
fruit
yeah,
trees now.
amazing.
Maybe it's 18 fruit trees, whatever it is. It's doing great. They're all growing. I mean, this one apple tree in the past like 2 weeks has grown like a foot. It's crazy.
Wow,
All of a sudden, this apple tree is just like really gaining size. Yeah, it's
nice.
been cool to watch them take root and grow. There's
That's
like one
awesome.
of them that's looking a little sparse, but most of them are seem to be taken to their new environment here.
That's awesome.
Um, yeah, peach trees, pear trees, cherry trees, apple trees.
Wow, so smart.
So I'm gonna have tons of fruit
That's
next
you
year.
being smart. What you doing right now?
Yeah, I just thought it would, not to have to plant a tree that has some use rather than just something decorative.
Yeah,
So
then now you get a dehydrator and a freezer. So you dehydrate some and they freeze the
I was
fruits.
thinking about just hooking up the
Canning.
neighborhood, eating them all fresh.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
What do you like, Jesus or something?
maybe I'll make some compote.
I make some compote. Make some
Yeah.
make some chow chow. Some
Are you
fruit
on your
chow chow.
cell phone?
Me? No.
Oh, okay.
I just have.
Oh, yeah, I see. I see.
I was like,
Okay.
so I can hear you still. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Hey,
anywho, I gotta
Michael, wait, one last thing.
go.
One last
Tell
thing,
me.
Michael. Where's the music? Is it on Spotify?
Yeah, where's your album?
on all the platforms. If you just look up Michael Rix on Spotify or Apple Music, and just look for a guy holding a banjo, I'll
Okay.
show you what.
That's you.
Um, Here, I'll show you what it looks like. Um, let's see.
I love it. Michael Ricks. And I'll send it to my email list. I just got more admin help. I'm very excited. Next level, some things. All right, y'all. My kid's calling me. I love you.
All
Bye.
right, we'll see. It won't come up.
See ya,
I'll see
Ange.
you.
But Michael Ricks, Rix on everything. That's the key. Um, Real smooth voice, great banjoing. I'm gonna listen to the album. I'm gonna put it on. I'm gonna look for it right now. Actually, I want to hear your stuff. So, but it is out now.
It's gone. It's up. DistroKid is probably still processing it, but it is up. It is up there. So I'll get a pre-save link here in a little bit, and I'll send it over to you.
So it's Have Hope.
One
Then
of
it's
that's the songs on the album.
Oh, you
Um,
covered a bar song.
yes.
That's so funny, man. That song with Everybody Get Tipsy. Remember that rap song?
That was that was funny that they figured out a way to return that song to a come back on an old school track, as
Yeah.
Montold would say.
Yeah, yeah. It was. I mean, I like the song. I love the lyrics, but I hate the auto tune on the original version. So I'm definitely gonna check out your version of that because you know what I mean. The auto tune just doesn't sound real. I don't know if you. I don't know.
It does. It's kind of it's processed. You just hear all the processing and the recording process of how they recorded it, and
Yeah.
it like nobody. So many people. It's like where is an actual singing talented voice? I'm like okay, do what you do, but that's if you actually can sing, if you really really can sing, if you can hold tone and you can sing in tune,
Hmm.
then guess what? We ain't using all that. Chris Stapleton don't got no no auto tune.
No, no, and oh, and I mean, you play with him. I've seen him live a couple times, and he's one of the few singers that I can recall, maybe the one of the only singers that's going next octave up when you hear him live. Like he'll just be playing around. He can go and he'll in his songs he'll play with his range and like on after the bridge he'll go another octave up. But then when he sings it live, he'll go the next one up just to be like I could do whatever I want up here. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
crazy to see him live.
That's
I mean,
what real human talent. You can't put it in an AI. You can't put it in an app. You can't
mhm,
tie it down and you know uh, uh, match it up with numbers and scientifically put it on a scale. These
mhm.
things, these human things, these the human hand, the human fingerprint, the retina in your eye. These things are like way past gadgetry. People
I,
just
I agree with you, and it's you know, the rasp, the under overtones that might not be perfectly in key, like in an Otis Redding track, right? Or that was in there, but it's like whatever tones are there just sound good, even though it might. And if they had those tools back in the 60s, 70s, where some of these, epic greatest of all time singers were, somebody might have told them that they're going to just auto tune that out. But that's the magic of it. If you ask me. And I mean, so it's like, I like that bar song. Like, it was introduced to me by a friend of mine singing it to me. I had never heard it, and he started singing it to me. And I was like, that's a cool song, man. And then I looked up the song by Shabuzi. Is that it?
Jabruz.
And I
Yeah.
was like, no, that's not right. I mean, but I liked the song, but I just didn't like the lyrics. I can't wait to hear your version of a bar. Did you slow it down at all?
No, I bluegrassed it up.
Okay, cool.
Uh, so I actually sped it up.
Sped it up. Okay, okay. I want to hear somebody slow it down. I'm excited to hear it sped up too, but I want to hear somebody slow it down a little bit too and make it even more country. But that would be less bluegrassy, so I could see why you sped that up. Um, yeah, that's why I think peak music was the 70s because we had enough technology to record it clean, but not enough technology to mess it up. And then starting in the 80s, 90s, and beyond, with I hear the auto tune and then I get disinterested in the music that fast. It's like it takes the emotion out of it, it takes the uniqueness out of it, and it's like this could be anybody singing this with the auto tune. um yeah, maybe other than like California Love. I thought but that wasn't auto tune, that was that
Yeah,
key
that was
thing.
like a what do you call that? It's like a vocoder that they're
Yeah,
singing through.
with
Yeah.
the tube in the mouth, and they use Frampton used the guitar or Stevie used the keys. Um, yeah, yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, so the new album is not on here yet, but I'll keep refreshing. I'll look for it tomorrow. Um, yeah, man, that's cool. I'd love to. Yeah, I'd love to hear that bar song live too. Do you play that when you play in bars or concert at all? You
I
ever
hadn't
play it?
played it live yet. I'm going to try to play it this weekend live um, with my band at the local in downtown, well, on West End, Nashville.
You
Uh,
playing Friday or Saturday?
yeah, so I play on Saturday from 4 to 5:30.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, I have my whole band down there this Saturday.
I'm gonna try to make that. I might have a ride that ends at 4:30, but if you're gonna play that, I'm gonna try to make that. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Um, all right, man. I appreciate you joining. Let's every time we talk, I'm always like, let's get together. Let's chat more. So I'm gonna try to do that.
Well, I
And
look together and we just got to make a point to put it on the calendar and just be like, okay, this is the day we're gonna go do some
I
bike
know.
riding out or
I
whatever.
know, man. Yeah, for sure. All right, man. I appreciate you. Text me that link, and I'll see you soon.
All right. Well, thanks for having me on, man, and I hope you have a beautiful night.
Anytime. I always love having you on, man. I love your insights on a lot of stuff. So let's do it more often.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for having me.
See you, man.
All right. See ya.